25. This is number 25, Bruce. 25.
I've done a lot of these. Dan had this fakakta idea that like we should do a podcast, and like here we are 25 episodes later. We're staying to schedule. We do it every week pretty much. Yeah. And we've got some fans out there. I know that we got some fans out there. It's nice. We do this for
time. I mean, look, we're doing this for us. I don't give a shit about a following. Yeah. But I will say, if you look at most podcasts that have any following at all, they're on like episode 1962.
Oh yeah, so like Ro listens to some that are like the woman has been doing podcasts for years, and all of a sudden, for whatever reason, lightning strikes, and now she's got a ton of followers. I thought for us that would be the milk drinking episode. I thought the adult milk drinking episode was going to really launch us into the stratosphere, and it should. But
so far, we've gotten the most like views we've gotten have been to my little rant about the
rush,
stupid agile methodology. That's one, and then was Rush, making fun of Rush fans.
Yeah,
agitating people about a band that I actually like. Like that's what's so funny about them. You're just proving my point. Like that's my whole point.
The point about the fan base is just rough.
I'm not even arguing with them. I agree the band's great. It's just they're
right. They're the problem.
Yeah.
So today on the Heeb Goy show, we have a great guest in a couple minutes. She's coming in. We've had her on the show before. Her name is Christina, and she's a friend of yours.
Yeah. So this is a theme from a couple episodes ago, putting the F that in family, and that's kind of what this is. She married into this family that is so just everything about it.
So like, great.
We were talking about this before we started recording, and everyone's different, right? Something that for you and for me is a deal breaker we'd never live with. Other people are like, "What's wrong with you?" I love that. That's great for me.
Yeah.
So, and we're admitting that. Like you and I are weird on this topic. We're 100%.
We are, and we're very weird on this topic. And I know that, my Facebook feed and my social media feed, I got a very wide spectrum of different. I mean, you should see. And there are some things on there that I'm like, I can't even imagine being in a relationship like this, like it's a really wide spectrum. And it's kind of interesting for me to see what people, I mean, me and you are in long-term relationships, right, Dan? Me and you are like north of 20 years at this point with our partner. And, it's just very interesting to see what other couples, what is a deal breaker for other couples, what is not a deal breaker, what we'll put up with, what we won't put up with, what you talk. And it's just, there's such a great variety, but it is funny when we see, something going on in another couple that we would just absolutely not stand for.
Yeah. I was at lunch with the wife and we were talking about this, and I said, I was telling her younger dudes care mainly about looks. It's just true. Right. They'll put up with almost anything, right? If you're, whereas me, if I were to be like single again, I mean, of course, looks are nice, but I don't care. I need compatibility. I need compatibility, and like, I don't care what the girl looks like. I don't care if she's in like my mommy and I couldn't do it. Like, there's just so
like me and you get like, so now we're at like 50s.
Right.
So we get so annoyed at things.
Yeah.
That like if one of the things that annoys us has to do with our partner, and that comes to be at such a high level, I'm not.
No, it'd be a daily issue. Like imagine you and Ro are out getting a cup of coffee, and she has some idiosyncratic habit that drives you fucking nuts. Like you hate it. Like someone who's a germaphobe, right? Like you're out with somebody and. You're sitting in, I saw this today at lunch. This woman is sitting at a table. Her meal comes. She wants to use ketchup. She picks up a napkin, wraps the ketchup bottle with the napkin, and then puts the ketchup on her plate. And I'm like, I could not date somebody who does that. I couldn't. It would drive me nuts.
I couldn't be with somebody who is mean to anyone in customers. So like that's something that
that's a good example. Like let's say Bruce is single. You're out with this big, large-chested Asian girl. She's into you. Yeah. She wants it. She's like she's all about it, right? And you're at lunch. You're getting a burger, and she's
Right.
and then the waitress, accidentally brings her a sweet tea instead of an unsweet tea, and she's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? The fuck is wrong with you, Sheila?
Yeah.
You couldn't do it. You couldn't do it."
No,
And honestly, Bruce, for me,
leave.
that would be same thing. I'm the same. I'd be a deal breaker for me too.
Yeah. The ketchup, I mean, and here's the thing. There's things that I'm sure that your partner does. There's things that my partner does that irritate us, but it's not to the level where we're going to abandon the relationship.
I was talking about this exact thing. Of course, there's always stuff either one does that annoys them, the other person, but not. It's hard to even give a word for it. It's certain immutable characteristics about someone that
and I know there's things that I do that are just very irritating to Ro, but not enough for her to leave me.
But these aren't things. Okay, number one, they're probably not immutable characteristics about you as a person. They're probably just dumb habits or something. And it's nothing that it's like, instead of yelling at the waitress, if the person cussed too much or they were loud.
No, that's true. I do.
I'm saying there's other things that might annoy you, but you'd put up with, right?
Yeah, exactly. There's absolutely things that I do that she does that are just like, and it might, and it's a sliding scale. Like there's some things that I do that are at the top of her list. Like she's not going to leave me over it, but boy, she fucking hates it. And you know what I mean? Like, and so what is for you? What is something that your partner does that is not your favorite, but it's not the end of the world. You just live with it. It's no big deal. Are you comfortable?
I am comfortable. I would totally tell you. I'm just trying to think. Like, I mean, she doesn't have any idiosyncratic habits that annoy me because I'm the kind of guy like almost any of that stuff will just grate on me. I mean, if I was going to pick anything, I would say that she tends. I mean, any woman's like this, and even I'm like this. She can be very moody, and like, I can look at her and know immediately if it's a bad day.
Yeah, you know what? That's true, and I feel that way too. Like, there's just this morning, like she came back from a hike and she had a verbal altercation with a boomer on the trail. Because when you're walking on the trail, the person that's hiking gets the right of way. And then she's got to deal a lot with mountain bikers who are always, that's a whole category of people that we don't like. I guarantee it. Like they are way into their mountain biking.
Sup, bro, I'm on my mountain bike, bro. We're gonna ride here. We're gonna be sweet.
But the problem she has is it's a lot of these older white men that get into this hobby. Boomers. And they barrel down the path, and they will just have it in their head that she should be the one that moves because they're riding their bike. And there's signs up everywhere that say horses first, pedestrians second, bikes third. That's who needs to move off the path.
I solved this problem by not hiking, and it's not an issue.
Yeah, exactly. I never go on a hike. Actually, so her car, she was working on her car, doing something with her car. She's actually painting the car herself, Dan, something that you and I would never do. But she's out there sanding, sanding the car and taping it off and painting it, and it's like this whole thing where like you're bringing it to the store and you're paying thousands of bucks to have someone paint it. She ain't doing that, right?
All right. Anyway, so Christina's here. I'm going to go ahead and
let's just cut my story and get right into Christina. Welcome.
I'm going to go ahead and resume. We did most of this content, me sort of paraphrasing what happened, but we're gonna go right into it with her life over the past week or two with her horrid in-laws. So,
but when you put her up, I want to set the stage to the listening audience.
Bruce is setting the stage. Go ahead.
Hey, Bruce. Is this Christina?
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good now. Are you taking refuge in the car?
I'm sitting in my car. Oh, Bruce, I've got so much material.
All right, listen. I want to just set the stage here. I want to take a look. So I want to welcome everyone, Christina. She's back on the show. Christina was our greatest guest we've ever had, probably our only guest we've ever had. Not true, but she She's I'm part of the infamous milk drinking episode. Everybody knows that. So Christina is a friend of Dan's, now a friend of mine, and she is in a relationship, like everyone's in a relationship, and she has a very interesting relationship. She likes to talk about her better half, her partner, and her partner's family, and all these things that go with it. And I gotta commend Christina for being fearless and very brave, talking about this with just like, you're cool with this, right? Like you're talking about your partner, right? Like,
Well, yes. So, as I've said before on the show, I really love my husband. I deeply love him and plan to be in this marriage forever. But there's a lot of things that just aren't normal. And to cope with it, I have to talk about it.
no, and that's completely valid. And before you got on, I was talking with Dan about this, and we're like, look, it's very interesting because there's a lot of different relationships out there. Dan and I both been in relationships for 20 years with our partners, right? That's a long ass time. And so, but we also know that in viewing other people's relationships, there's a wide variety of like things that work for other people, but things that maybe not work for you or whatever. But it's just, I just want to make it known that there's a huge wide variety in what people like, what they don't like. But you know what? It's all valid. Whatever makes a person's relationship works.
But on
It's
this
fine.
show, we think that obligatory family gatherings fucking suck. And for Bruce and I, that shit is a deal breaker. It is. And this is the Heeb Goy show, and for Bruce and I are of one mind on this topic. It's a deal breaker. Not that we hate family. I love my family. It's not that. Bruce has a sister. He loves her. But Bruce and I do not do obligatory family bullshit.
I do some of it, Dan. I'm not I'm not way over to the side of this guy. I mean, I go to Hawaii when I have to meet the family and stuff like this. But I'm very interested in Christina's situation because Christina, all right, Christina, let us into your world.
So set the table. It was the week from hell.
What has been going on for the past? All I know for the past couple weeks, Christina has been having to deal with, I think, 3 separate family issues that all involve her family that have been just mind-bogglingly irritating. Right?
Yes. Okay. So let me give you a little bit of the family dynamic here.
Yes. Yes.
So
reintroduce the radio audience into what your deal is.
I've been with my husband 18 years. We've been married for 11, but together 18 years. So it's a really long time.
Yeah. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. We really do love each other. Like we've got a good thing going, but you know, there's going to be kinks in any relationship. And look, I'm close with my family too, but my family lives in another state. And my husband is very agreeable when we have to do things with my family. But if you're going by the numbers, like how often
it's probably few and far between, right? That we do your family as opposed to his family, which is like a mile away.
His family is all local to where we live. So let me give you the family tree. My mother-in-law, my husband is an identical twin. My brother-in-law has been with the woman he's married to since 1985.
Wow.
They met as teenagers. They are married. They have 2. Our nieces are grown. They are 22 and 25. I love my nieces. I'm not going to talk about my nieces. I do love them. And honestly, my mother-in-law is very sweet. I could not have a less obtrusive mother-in-law. Like I have no issues with her at all. The twins' dad died when they were teenagers, so he's not in the picture. And the mom has been remarried to their stepdad for many years, like decades now. He's very sweet too. So again, typically you have a problem with the mother-in-law, something like that.
But the problem is with your husband and his brother, the twins.
It's the identical twin and his wife. And it's not so much that I have.
Okay, it's the identical twin's wife?
It's the identical twin and his wife. Like the dynamic of the two of them together has negatively impacted me so many times. I have to say one proviso here. If you notice me being distracted, there's literally the Pride Parade where I live going on 2 blocks away. and there are like hundreds of people walking down my street right now. Like it's crazy. So I'm trying to focus
Right.
here. There's just there's basically a pride parade going on outside.
Well, that rules. If you're ready to go for the other team, you get irritated with this guy. I'm sure there's plenty of, you know.
I could tell you lots of story. I have a lot of gay street cred, but that's a story for another time. Yeah, so there are, so in a sense, and it's not that I don't like my brother-in-law and sister-in-law, it's that they are frequent headaches to me. And the family dynamic is that because I didn't meet my husband till later in life, and his brother has been with the same woman since 1985, I
Yeah.
came into a dynamic 25 years in the making.
So there was this whole foundation of this thing already going on, and you came in.
Yes. And I came in, I could not have tried harder. I had people over for dinner, I cooked, I would arrange stuff.
So in the beginning of the relationship, you determined that this was a very sort of family focused thing, and you gave it your best shot to be part of that whole situation.
Yes. No one tried harder or better than me.
Right.
But it's like the universe would not let me infiltrate or make any changes or so really I became powerless and realized that yet every holiday is like a horrible, unpleasant experience. Not horrible in the sense of people screaming at each other, but
yeah.
Let me give you an example. For some reason, my brother-in-law and sister-in-law host every holiday. Like my brother-in-law just takes control over it, and he's not good at planning. Like he's just not. Every dinner is late. Every dinner doesn't have enough food. Every dinner is missing something. There's always a problem.
He grabs the reins, but he's bad at it.
Yes.
Okay.
And the other dynamic is that my sister-in-law doesn't care at all. Like she's not domestic and she doesn't care, but she's very much in the background, like pulling puppet strings. It's hard to explain.
Yeah.
So, Dan, do you have that? So let me explain. Let me give you a typical holiday over at. Dan's got
I was
the
not aware. Okay. I was not aware that there'd be a PowerPoint presentation.
I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see that. Dan, do you want to explain what this is?
Yeah, Dan. What am I looking at here? Dan, got no audio, Dan.
Sorry. We have the triumvirate. You got the husband on the spectrum but doesn't know it, drinks milk as a beverage.
Okay.
You got the husband's twin brother. Snob, loves France, on the spectrum but doesn't know it, married to his high school sweetheart, insists on planning family events despite lack of ability to do so. And then you have the sister-in-law, also on the spectrum but doesn't know it, fiercely selfish, constantly trying to find ways to get free travel, flights and hotels, and bragging on social media about it. I think this is a nice, brief summary of the.
That is.
And again, this triumvirate. Let's just be clear here. This triumvirate has been a thing since Reagan's second term. Okay.
Yes.
Reagan's second term, 1985, the year Van Halen hired Sammy Hagar. That's when this started. And this.
Can I ask a quick question?
The Future came out.
Well, so you and Dan are friends, right, Christina?
Yes.
And so how long have you and Dan been friends?
Since like 2009, 8, something like that.
Okay.
Around the time that you, Bruce.
Oh, I see. Were you in the haters group?
Started.
Okay. But okay, so Dan has been involved in this triumvirate focusing for that long.
I probably started talking to Dan about this the first time I pet sat for him, because I knew Dan. By the time I first pet sat for him in 2012, prior to that, we'd only been discussing like animals and Howard Stern world.
Yeah.
But once I got to know Dan better, I was like, oh, he's
So that's what I was getting at. Yeah. You knew that this would be fodder for Dan to focus on.
Okay, so back up. Yes, it is fodder for sure because of the family shit. But there's one aspect to this. I have in my family a lot of spectrum disorders. I am used to this. My sister, my uncle, my cousin, they're all over the place. I'm used to it. I know how to recognize it. I know what it is. So the minute she starts telling me about these people, I'm like, wait a minute. These people are on the spectrum, like textbook, but none of them have a diagnosis. It's really hilarious. And so
Dan, the people that are on the spectrum in your family, they've been diagnosed, right? And they're aware of it?
Well, not my 80-year-old uncle, but yes, like my sister has a diagnosis.
Everyone else.
Yes, everyone else has a diagnosis. Now, look, they still have the same issues, but there's awareness there.
Yeah, that makes the world a difference. And there's
it makes
a willingness
it a little different. So these three people, this triumvirate is existing in its own reality.
This is so great.
They're normal and you're weird.
I love how you just like the husband on the spectrum, but doesn't know it, drinks milk as a beverage. The husband's twin brother, snob, loves France, on the spectrum, but doesn't know. Like, it's so funny. I love your little write-up, Christina. Don't you love his little write-up?
Dan wrote this. It's perfect. It is 100% accurate. In fact,
Christina, does any of this stuff, does any of this hurt your feelings at any point? Like,
no.
Okay.
It's nothing I wouldn't say myself. And honestly, it's no. Because, Bruce, you have to understand, I've been dealing with this now for 18 years. And when Dan talks about the free travel and stuff, we could do another podcast about how her free travel has impacted my life directly.
Wow.
Bruce,
we'll do another show on that. There's a lot.
Just in one sentence, I'll explain it. Take how you feel about Wasteland Weekend, hot chicks at the gym, and punk rock.
Yeah.
Multiply it times 157,000.
Right.
And that is how this woman feels about finding ways to travel for free, either paid for by the taxpayer. Like,
it's an very unhealthy sort of obsession.
Yes.
And it's not right.
Correct.
Okay. So that's a whole nother show for sure. But there are, Dan and Christina, Dan and I talked about, he showed some photos that you shared of like this get together.
Yeah,
I saw the podcast. Yeah. Okay. So let me give you, before we go to the 80-year-old's party, I have to show you my experience dealing with this family with food. So I sent Dan a picture that he's seen many times. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So just to be clear, her brother-in-law, the twins, the twin, he insists on planning everything. He's the guy who puts together all the plans, does the menu, does the cooking. And every single time, 100% of the time, whenever they're doing this, it's either a potluck or they're doing everything, but there's not enough food. And there's never enough food. They run out of food. There's never enough food. This guy should not plan an event. So
Christine, are you part of the tribe?
No,
Jewish?
I'm not part.
Yeah.
Jewish? No, I'm Presbyterian.
Okay.
So here's the Easter bounty, Bruce.
Bruce, this is Easter. This is.
Hold on. They just put a picture up of a plate. What is that? A half of a sweet potato?
4 strawberries.
No. Let me explain.
Or not strawberries, blueberries.
This is our Easter feast. My husband's family is I'm Polish, but my husband's family is very Polish. So very traditional Easter would be kielbasa, hard-boiled eggs. It would be like real Polish people have.
Well, I'm looking at a mainly empty plate that has like, is that a end of a kielbasa on the right-hand side?
You might think this is after I finished eating. No, this was when I sat down to eat. So for 10 people, they had a fruit salad, which was 1 diced apple and a pint of blueberries. I was the last one to get the fruit salad, so that's literally, I was like scraping the apple juice out of the bowl.
And does nobody comment? Like, does no one say, "Hey, does someone say anything?"
I've tried passive aggressively.
Bruce, I told you they're in their own reality. I keep telling you this. Just remember.
And that's the tism. That's the tism going on, right?
The tism.
It's got it. Yeah. So then that other piece of meat is a 1/4 inch of kielbasa. Now, a couple things. I am not I really do try to not eat pork because I love my pig nieces and nephews of Dan's. Also, I've never really liked kielbasa. I've grown up my whole life around it, and I don't like
but
it.
you're starving at this point, and there's nothing to eat at the
Right.
Easter bounty.
Here's Bruce. Do you want to know the best part to this meal? I offered to bring a ham, and I was told no because there was already too much food.
Too much? The word too much was used.
Yes. And now, in their defense,
it's driving me nuts. This is
did
driving
have
me.
hard-boiled eggs, but I don't like hard-boiled eggs, so I didn't put one on my plate. So I could have had an egg, orange juice.
Amazing.
In the background there. Yeah. So
well, that's a horrible Easter bounty.
This is what holidays are like with these people. So I have tried. Again, this is where I say the universe doesn't let me fix this. I've tried. So, for example, this year, I did take a ham to Easter. I also took a quiche. Like, I didn't even tell him. I just slipped that quiche right in there.
Right. You just took initiative, and you know the history of the family. You're like, these motherfuckers aren't going to have enough food. I'm rolling in with food.
Right.
Fuck them. Good
so
for
what
you.
do they do when they see? No, Bruce, it doesn't work. When they see I bring a quiche, they don't serve the hard-boiled eggs. Now, hard-boiled egg is like a really big part of a Polish Easter brunch. And so my poor stepfather-in-law, he's like, where are the eggs? Like, I want the eggs. Where's hard-boiled eggs?
Why would she not? Let me ask you this: if she sees you walking,
quiche,
but if she sees you walking in with the quiche, why does she not serve the hard-boiled eggs? Because she's just cheap and wants to save them for later. Why would she not put them out on the table?
It's not her. It's not her.
She's got nothing to do with it. She's looking for ways to travel for free. She doesn't care about this.
She's on her Apple Watch looking for fair.
This is unbelievable. So I know, because we talk a lot about issues with food on this show, and that's bad.
And I point this out to my husband, and he gets all defensive of them, and it makes it seem like I'm wrong.
Like you're the bad guy.
I will go into. I'm the bad guy. So I needed to give you this background because this is what I deal with routinely, frequently with them. Okay.
Every time. These people. It's some weird combination of snobbery and white trash. It's really, really hard. It's a very strange mix there.
No, it's not a white trash thing, Dan. It's tacky, I don't know.
Tacky.
It's this
snobbery
and tackiness. Tackiness. Yes.
Yeah, there's a difference. Tacky and white trash. Yeah, that's different.
Okay, so
take us on this journey, Christina.
All right.
Take us on the journey.
So Friday before last Sunday, or 2 Sundays ago, my husband calls me. I'm at work, and he starts talking as if I know what he's talking about. He's talking about our niece's graduation. I didn't know our niece was graduate. I didn't know anything about it. Our niece's college trajectory has not been normal, partly because of this one. This is the.
Dan just put a graphic on the screen.
Yeah,
Dan just put a graphic on the screen of the screenshots of. By the way, I love nothing more than screenshots of bad conversations to make
22 years old.
Yeah.
22, just graduated college.
So this 22-year-old is the daughter of your brother-in-law, right?
Daughter of the
It's Unky's niece, yes.
Okay, hold on. Now, when we use the term Unky from here forward, which is a term I love because it's so bad, when we say the word Unky on the show, who are we referring to?
That's Christina's
my husband.
Yes.
Okay, your husband is Unky.
That's what our nieces called him when they were little. And
because
it's cute.
you and your husband don't have kids, so by default, when we hear the word Unky on the show, it always refers to your husband,
Mr. Milk.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Milk. Okay, good. Thank you.
Yes.
I just wanted to get that out because I'm not too bright and I get confused with the cast of characters, and I want to be sure.
I know.
This shit is gold. I don't want to miss a fucking bit of this. This is good. So the
22-year-old is graduating college. And he calls her and he's like, okay, so you're ready to go to the banquet, right?
So no, because Bruce is going to love this. I know, Bruce, you're not into family things, but you're going to hear an example of bad manners, modern family.
Yeah, okay. What do we got?
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Here we go.
I'm
Hold it.
completely unaware that my niece is graduating, and my husband calls me at work. So like I'm busy, I'm distracted, and he starts talking about like as if I know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
He's like, "Yes, her graduation is Sunday.
You're like, who? What are we
I'm
talking about here? What are you know?
yeah, I'm going to see her walk, but there's no ticket for you, but there's a brunch afterwards." And he names this restaurant that is not a cheap restaurant. Um,
Right?
he said so um the university limited the number of tickets per family. That's fine. Okay. But
You're like,
so
that's a
my
blessing in disguise. That's great.
yeah, no kidding, no kidding. So my husband, there was a ticket for him, but not for me. But I was told I'm expected at brunch, and it's
Expected.
at
The word.
expected
Oh.
at a restaurant, and this restaurant is not cheap. And I know the way this family works. The mother and father were not picking up the tab. We were expected to pay our
So
own.
you got a short notice, very short notice that by the way, this afternoon or tomorrow afternoon, you got to go to this restaurant and you're going to spend a shitload of money on it.
Yes, yes.
Okay, that's
And you're
irritating.
expected to go.
No one tells me what to do.
Happy.
That's
Also,
horrible.
Happy.
niece graduating, so we have to give a gift. Also,
Oh,
gotta
gift.
give
So,
a
okay.
gift.
So probably you're in for well over $100.
Oh, that we gave 100 cash for the gift.
Oh my
And
God.
so let me tell you what happened. And you got this is a podcast exclusive. You got
Oh, podcast.
podcast exclusive. I was so aggravated about
Christine.
the thought of paying for our own brunch, like this last minute invitation. And that's so normal with this family. Like that happens frequently.
Yeah, but aren't you
But
irritated a little bit at your husband too for like being part of this, right? You're okay.
yeah, but
And you can't say no. And you can't say no.
Can't say
That's the
no.
other problem.
No,
Okay,
I can't
understood,
just
yeah.
go. I can't say if I legitimately had plans, like if I said I already have brunch plans with my girlfriends or my parents need me for something, he would let me out of it. But if the answer is I just want to sit at home with my thumb up my ass, which is a perfectly valid excuse to not
Valid
do
as
anything,
fuck. But that's not gonna fly. I get
he
it.
does
Yeah.
not accept that.
Yeah.
So, honestly, this thing ruined my weekend. And you, Bruce, you know this. I recently adopted a new senior dog.
I love it. The
yeah.
pug, the one-eyed pug, so
I have
great.
a one-eyed pug. Uncle Dan covered the adoption fee, and good deed done.
Uncle Dan.
And so I hadn't had a dog for 9 months. So I needed to start to get my house ready. So like I did actually have something to do. That's what I was planning to spend my time on that
But no,
weekend.
that gets pulled. The rug gets pulled out under your feet.
Rug gets pulled out from
Fucking
under
Unky
me.
gets called. You got to go do this. So, what is the podcast exclusive? Do you show up with a bag of food in a Ziploc bag to avoid the cost?
No.
What do you
I
do?
was so aggravated. I just sat there stewing. And Unky gets up at 7:30 in the morning. I can't get Unky. If we're going on a trip to Bermuda, I can't get Unky up at 7:30 in the morning. But to go see his niece walk.
Are you saying Unky? You're calling your.
Well, that's his podcast name, okay?
I love it though. I love it. I'm a fan.
Unky is very motivated by his brother and his sister-in-law
so
and his
great.
little nieces. He loves them.
Okay, so Unky, so get back. So Unky's out of bed the morning of this event, and he's just
like
raring to go.
Got jets on his feet to get.
And
to
you are
the
just
university.
dreading. You wake up. You're in bed like, fuck. I hate this day already.
I am. I'm like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. So like at 12:30, I'm supposed to be at this restaurant, which means I gotta make my hair look nice and stuff like that.
You and Unky don't leave in the same car to go. Like he goes by himself 10 hours early to get there.
He goes by himself.
Yes.
Yeah,
All
he
right.
goes by himself.
Well, thank God. That's a blessing for that.
My sister-in-law sends me a text, no explanation. It's just a link. It's just a link to watch the graduation by video. And it's like,
You're not watching that. I'm not watching that.
I don't care. I don't want to see my own graduation. I'm not gonna. There's no ticket for me. You made that clear. but I'm certainly not going to watch it on YouTube either.
I don't care. Yeah, I'm not watching that.
I love my niece, but truly, I don't care. Like,
I'm
I
not gonna
don't
fucking
care.
take an hour out of my day and watch a
It
fucking
would have been like
broadcast.
2 hours.
Oh, fuck that. No.
So then Unky texts me, and he goes, "The ceremony ended early. We're going to brunch now. I'll pick you up." And I'm like still in my pajamas.
Oh.
And I'm going like, I can't, in my head. Do you ever have those moments where I think, Bruce, you do, like, you just don't want to work for the man. You don't want that corporate gig where your body will not let you do something your head
Yeah, like
just
logic
doesn't
will
want
go
to
out
do.
the window. Like if I need the money or if I need the relief, I don't even care. I'm so upset at this point. I'm just let the chips fall where they will at this point. I'm so irritated. That's
Like
where
I
you
was
were
praying for appendix. If my appendix could have burst at any moment, I would have preferred it to be then.
So Christina, you're good with not lying. I mean, this is what I can tell from the story about you already. Like you won't lie. You won't just say, "Honey, I have explosive diarrhea. I'm not going." Like that's not going to happen.
Funny you say that. Funny you say that. Usually I don't lie, but I was so angry and so desperate. I called my parents, and my parents have had a lot of health problems the last year. I'm close with my parents, so they knew about the tacky graduation brunch and the last minute invite and stuff. So I said, "Look, Mom, I need you to pretend that you're having an episode, and like I'm gonna send you to the hospital."
Hold on.
Dan, I can't get up.
Are you aware of this?
I am. I would have just told the guy, "Look, man, I'm not going. Period. Tough shit. Go."
I can't say that though. He will not accept that as an answer. It'll be.
What is he gonna do? Pick you up and put you in the car?
It'll just be a hassle. Like, so I'll just have to.
It's one of those things where Dan, but this is one of those things where me and you think that, but that's part of Christina's relationship.
I have a question. I haven't asked you this, Christina. I'm curious about this one. Let's say these people were not tacky garbage, and let's say they planned this brunch at this place, and they said, "We're paying."
I'm reeling.
Would that have? Okay, so it was not specifically you don't want to deal with them. That's part of it, but it was the tackiness, and by you going, you're like signing off on the tackiness.
Yes, exactly. That was the cue. I kept stewing about how I would have to pay for my own eggs Benedict when I didn't want eggs Benedict that morning. I wanted to sit home and get ready
with the dog coming, but the dog's coming in, and so what is the thing that pushed you over the edge? Was it the hey, I got to pick you up early now? Like it was the I'm going to pick you up early. Yeah. It was like because you're right at the edge. You're like right at the fucking cliff edge, and this Unky fucking calls you up and says, "Oh, by the way, don't drive yourself there," which also gives you a car to get the hell out. I'm picking you up now.
Amen.
And you're trying to put yourself together, the hair, the makeup. I know how chicks are. It's a whole thing.
I haven't even gotten in the shower yet, and he's like, "I'll be there in 10 minutes." And I go,
"Do you yell it?" I mean, so then this is a great exclusive. So you go, "Okay, whatever," and you hang up. Then you call your aging parents and you say, "I need you to fake an episode." This is what you did.
And their health is so bad. My dad goes, "Well, it could be true at any moment." So
no, This is not this. I wouldn't call this a lie. This is more like an exaggeration.
So did you sort of call up your parents and be like, "Hey, you're not feeling that well right now, are you?" Wink.
No. I told them 100% the truth. I said, "I need you to I said, Chuck's going to be here any minute. I'm going to talk to you like I'm sending you to the hospital," which I've had to do for my mom 4 times in the last year. So again, this is not.
I'm dying.
And this is an Unky loophole. There are loopholes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you've been with Unky long enough to know. You've been with. Okay, hold on. I have so many questions now. You've been with Unky. You've been with Unky long enough to know that this is a loophole and this is what you can use. Now you won't. Now, so you know this. So you're like, okay, this is good. You come up with this plan in your head. I'm going to get my parents to fake a near-death episode to get out of this, right?
Not near death, but just a hospitalization.
But anyway, so you know that but does it involve putting your aging parents on speakerphone so that Unky hears this performance?
Yeah, Bruce, do you want to hear
this is a thought-out thing.
This was my genius. So I'm on with my parents, and I go, "Just stay on the phone. He's going to be home at any minute." And we were talking about like
So
whatever.
hold on, you're on the phone like this with your parents, and here comes Unky walking in, and it's like, oh, you're not feeling so well, and it's like
let's go pay for some brunch with some awful people. Come on.
I was in the kitchen where I frequently sit, and I was just talking to my parents, and I heard the front door open, and I go, okay, he's here. And then I switch, and I switch right into it. I go, Mom,
hold on.
You've got to know.
And your parents are great to get into this performance. Like they're into it 100%. They're going to act for you.
They were. It was
oh
on speaker.
My God.
It was all on speaker. Now, Bruce, the reality is they were just using lines that have been said in real life. Months ago.
Method acting. I mean, it's like Clint Eastwood being himself, but I get it. Yeah.
So, but there were a couple of times. There were a couple of times where this was funny.
All right, I'm back.
My dad, if you knew my dad, he's quite mild-mannered for the most part. There were a couple of times where I would say, Mom, this can't go on. And my dad would go, I don't know what you want me to say.
No.
So I love this.
But this is one of the rare situations where the spectrum helps you, because spectrum people are honest to a fault, and they kind of can't wrap their head around like making shit up like this. So Unky would not have even questioned that this is true. He wouldn't have even. It would not have occurred to him that she is making this up. It would never.
But he was upset. He was upset that my parents chose that moment to have an episode, and that I missed the brunch. But I did. I got out of the brunch.
Hold on, back up a little bit. So Unky walks in, you're on the speakerphone, like, hey, Dad, how's it going? Oh, I have chest pains. Do you need me to bring you to the hospital? Hold on. Do you need me to bring you to the hospital right now? Right now? Yes. Yes, I need you to bring me to the hospital right now. I can feel the pain is burning under my armpit. Oh,
no, don't forget my parents are 2 states away.
They're far away.
So
it doesn't matter. The spectrum thing helps, because he wouldn't have questioned that this is true. Plus, he
heard me saying to then when he walked in the kitchen, I just go, my mom needs to go to the hospital again. I've got to handle this. I can't go to the brunch. And he was like, he does a lot of throwing his hands up in the air.
Oh, like this, like he's upset now that his plans are ruined for you to accompany him to this important.
Yes.
Oh, and you're like, I'm sorry, my aging parents are dying on the other end of the line, and you're upset that I won't go to some fakakta.
That I'm not going to brunch. I have to pay for it myself. So, but in the end, he's great. He's very good with my parents. My parents are Seinfeld characters. They're Frank and Estelle. They're George Costanza's parents. Like, they really are.
This is amazing.
But don't worry, because we have another event 48 hours later on the screen right now.
No, 24 hours.
Oh, right. That was Sunday. Right.
I have another. Quinn, can I hold on? I have a follow-up question.
Yeah.
So Unky comes in, he sees you on the phone, you get out of that because he can't wrap his head around you coming up with a story to lie to get out of this. So he then says, okay, so he gets in his car and he goes back to the event. At that point, how do you follow up on your lie? Do you get into your car and drive 2 hours to a different state?
No, I wouldn't have. The way I have to manage my parents by phone,
Okay, so the lie was like, look, I got to deal with this. That meant dealing with it by phone. You didn't have to then get in your car and travel to another state to complete the lie.
No, once he left, I hung up on my parents and stood up and danced around my kitchen.
You danced around. You're like, yeah, I got out of it. I'm going to get ready for the dog. Fuck you. And you started eating
and now I've got 2 hours free. No, 2 hours.
2 hours. No, Unky.
For my own
him and just like whatever. You deleted the link to watch this stupid thing. Delete. And just had a great time by yourself.
But the jubilation doesn't last long, because another Unky event is 24 hours later, Bruce. On the
Tell
screen.
me what happened. So hold on. The celebration was short-lived, because following on the tails of that, what happened, Christina?
So the next day,
oh my God,
is Unky's birthday, and obviously it's the twins' birthday. Okay, and I am an only child, which maybe is part of the problem, because I don't know from this having a sibling, and I certainly don't know about having a twin sibling. Right. And My husband and I like to honor each other's birthdays, but together and in a very low-key way. Like we
Yeah.
both like
Maybe
to
like a cupcake with one candle in it. Like, here
No,
you go.
not even that. I like to take the day off from work. I usually go get some spa treatments, and then I like to go out for a steak dinner. And I
And
don't
then
even
some
like
sexy time at the end of it.
maybe. Yes, exactly.
Nice. Bravo. Good
So
for you.
then for him, he likes to go to this one coffee shop he likes. He's a big coffee shop fan. And then we usually do something like the zoo or the aquarium.
Right.
What I
He gets a hot chocolate and
resent,
then he go looks at the tigers. Okay.
exactly, yeah.
All right.
What I resent is that I can't just celebrate my husband on his birthday. I have to incorporate
Oh,
the
my
twin
God.
into it
Because
too.
he's a
And it's
twin and that takes priority. And of course, if the twin's involved, then so is the
then they
brother-in-law.
take control. No, the
Then
mother-in-law is not an issue. It's
the
this
brother-in-law, and
the
then and
brother-in-law.
then the sister, and
The
And
triumvirate. The
the
triumvirate.
the
triumvirate.
triumvirate
You know,
kicks
the
in.
birthday is going to be the triumvirate, which is going to be again. I see that's going to be a poorly planned event, right?
Mhm. Not
With
only that,
no
but just
food.
like but even at that, like why? What? They're 54 years old. Why do we have to do our own thing during the day, then get together at 8 o'clock at night on a work night?
No.
So let me
Eight
tell you
o'clock at
my
night on
day.
a work night, that is
Yeah,
out of the question.
Planned by
let
a
me,
22-year-old here. It's right
yeah,
here on the
Planned by
screen,
a
Bruce.
yeah.
22. Okay. Oh my
Uncle's
God.
birthday. Come over for cake.
So let me tell
Yay!
you my day.
Okay,
I
this is
had to,
unbelievable. Unbelievable.
this is after, now I already knew I'd have to do this, but then you couple in the graduation. So I'm already like, had an ass full of this family by this point.
Yeah, you've
And
had your fill, and now the next day.
next day, got to deal with it. So I
Oh,
gotta, and by the way, what my family would do is, with the graduation party, they would bring out a cake for the twins. Bing,
Yeah, wrap it
bam,
up.
done.
right.
Rather
Two
than
birds, two
bring,
birds with one
One stone.
stone. We're
Correct.
all together. Let's do this now and move on.
yeah, that's if my family celebrated anyone turning 54, which
Which no one in their
thankfully
right
we
mind would
don't.
do. Which no one
Yeah.
in their right mind would do. Not certainly with a cake.
So here's the thing. I got to
Oh,
wake up to be able to take the day off. I'm not going to bore you with the details of my job, but there are certain things I can't do ahead of time. So I had to get up at 6 in the morning on that Monday, my husband's birthday, to do about 2 hours of work. I had to physically go to my office, then come home.
right.
Then Unky doesn't wake up at 7:30 for me or his birthday. So Unky sleeps till 10. Then we go to his coffee shop, which he likes to do. Then we go to the aquarium. Then we go to dinner. So, like, then we've had a
Hold
full
on,
day.
Dan. I got to hear from Dan right now. Give me your thoughts right now, Dan.
I think she has a son and not a husband. That's what I
Because, like,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, because I'm laughing because of the coffee shop.
Let's
He's
go
sleeping
get
till
your
10.
mommy.
Hold on,
Take
he's
me to
sleeping
mommy.
till
Can we
10.
get ice cream,
Don't make
please?
fun of Christina too much. But I mean,
I'm sorry. This is childlike. This is childlike.
Christina, is it
Sorry.
hurt your
Chris,
feelings when Dan makes fun of him like this? Are you okay with that?
no, Dan and I are in constant communication about it. I can't say I disagree.
It's childlike.
I'm sorry. So he sleeps till 10 while you're working at 6 in the morning to get ready for his fucking birthday. You come home, he's in bed with his little boy sheets, probably has pictures of like sailboats on it. And
No. We share a bed. I don't
okay.
allow
And
sailboat
then
sheets.
so like, hey, let's go to get some coffee. And the coffee, by the way, is probably 10% coffee, 90% milk, frothy milk, right?
And
And
he does the most. You got to hear what he does to sweeten it. It is the
Oh, no.
most annoying thing ever.
bring me into this world. Bring me in.
He'll go up to the
Oh my God,
barista
here we
and
go.
he goes,
Here we
"Do you
go.
have any honey?"
Oh.
Yeah, sweetens his coffee with honey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's
And
like
then we go
Winnie
to the
the Pooh.
aquarium, and then the merry-go-round.
Then
So
we
you go to
went
the okay. So a favorite coffee house at 10, and he likes to sit there at a table and drink his honey, his coffee, and you're sitting there with him, and he likes to just hang out, and which is fine.
He likes
Then what?
to, but yeah, we do enjoy. It was a nice day. The two of us had a nice day.
Yeah. Okay.
Together.
And then what?
And we had a beautiful dinner, big Italian meal. I had veal parmesan with
Ooh, I do
veggies.
like a massive Italian meal.
It was fab. He had lasagna. And by the
Christina,
time we
did he have a glass of whole milk with the lasagna?
No.
Oh, thank God.
No. In fact, he got a cocktail that night. He had
And you're like,
an
oh, a
old-fashioned
manly
or
thing, a
something.
cocktail. Good. Say, okay.
Meanwhile, I was like, tipping 2 or 3 back. By that time, I had enough.
You got to get buzzed to go to fucking this twin birthday party. Like, you go, I need to get drunk.
So Bruce, let me tell you, remember how I said like that feeling when your body just won't let you do something your mind is telling you have to do?
It's like you got to step into an ice cold bath for your health or some
Yeah,
bullshit. Okay.
exactly. So I'm sitting there at dinner at this beautiful Italian meal, and I'd been up since 6. It's now like I'm gonna say 6:30 p.m., 7
So if
o'clock.
that's me, belly full of lasagna, I'm ready for
Yeah.
bed immediately.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, Dan?
And I'm sitting there going,
Oh yeah, I wouldn't go to this party.
No.
so I'm sitting there going like, I can't, like in my head, I'm like thinking to myself, I can't do this. Like I can't do this.
And you're like, maybe the other parent can feign an illness now. Like, what
Well,
else
I
do
knew
I
I
got up my
couldn't do
sleeve?
that
Like,
again. I
yeah,
couldn't
but
go
but I
to
bet your
parents
mind
again.
is thinking, your mind is now thinking about things. How do I get it? Because like a fight
Oh,
or
yeah.
flight response, like,
It
oh my God,
was.
what can I do? Can I don't know, like, can I order a pudding and sit in it so it looks like I pooped my pants? Like anything at this point,
I
right?
would
Like,
have
what's
done that. No, I did. I got out of it.
You found a loophole, another loophole.
Well,
and 2 days
Daniel,
in a row? Oh, I got to
don't
hear
know.
this.
You don't know about this one though, Dan. I
This is great.
didn't tell you. I saved it for the podcast. So I'm
Yes,
sitting there
another
just
exclusive.
going like, I can't do this. And I asked him. I said, Chuck, like, we've had a really nice day. Can I just get out of this? And he goes, just come by and say hi. That's always his thing. Whereas meanwhile, once I get home, I want to put my hair up in a ponytail, take my bra off, like get in my
Yeah.
pajamas. He's like, just stop over and say hi. That's
We
what he
know
always says.
we know that there's no stopover and say hi. We know that once you
Exactly.
cross the threshold of the door, you're stuck there like a Venus flytrap for fucking 3 hours.
Yeah. So no, but I did get out of it. And to do it, I had to prostitute myself. I had to promise him sex. I said,
Oh! Oh!
So,
Oh,
yeah,
Dan.
so I got out of it.
I would have
Hold
sex
on.
with Bruce to get out of that event.
Oh my God. So this is great. This is great. And without being, it is not a family show, but DJ's like, hey, listen, I'll give you the best blowjob you ever had. We get the fuck out of here. Like, right? Like,
I'm not going to go into the details,
I'd
but
love
I
to know the
did
details. Christina.
promise.
Love to
I
know the
promise.
details.
I'm amazed. I'm actually amazed that he was still cool with you not going to this event. Like he's so fixated on this.
Yeah,
He
right.
went.
It
now,
must, Dan. It must have been a pretty good sexual act.
All right.
Well, here's the thing. It was after the party. So the idea was because our dinner didn't end until close to the.
His thing was like, okay, listen, honey, listen, I'm gonna do XYZ. I'm gonna go home, and then you do your unky thing, and then when you come
I'm gonna
home,
get ready.
yeah, I'm gonna get ready.
Yeah.
Do XYZ.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You prostituted yourself.
I did.
To get.
And
I would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I would have done anything. I would have done anything to get out.
I would have done the 3-minute gay kiss.
Have you heard about a 3-minute? Have you heard about a 3-minute gay kiss?
Yeah.
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Yeah, like I would probably do a lot.
So there's one more event though you couldn't get out of. Like
I could not.
So hold on. This is amazing. So okay, so Christina now has recapped. She had to do these 3 horrible things, and 2 of them she got out of.
Desperate times call for
One of which
measures.
you deceitfully wrangled your aging parents into a health scare to get out of something. Second one is you prostituted yourself with a sex act to get out of it. But the third one now is the first 2 were 2 days in a row, were they not? Like right back to back days?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is this third one Is this a week later? This isn't third day in a row.
Not even a full week. No, it was that Saturday. So Monday was the birthday. This was Saturday. This
Okay,
80th
so like
birthday
5
was
days later.
Saturday.
Okay, so 5 days later. Now tell us about what is this event? By the way, we're looking at pictures of like some sort of like, oh my God, is this the 80th birthday party?
It's a catered affair in a non-air conditioned facility where the geezers had to walk upstairs, and the dipshit brother, who was unable to so much as plan anything at all, planned it, and of course there's not enough food.
Now, this is a very nice private club. It's in an old mansion. There's no air conditioning. That day, it had rained in the morning.
I'm reeling. I didn't know the extent of how bad all this was. I'm reeling. Can you see my face? I can't even believe how awful this is.
So it was humid. It was humid out.
The sun came out full force by like 1 p.m. and the party started at 2. So it was like the
hottest part of the day,
sizzling,
clammy, humid. Yeah. Second
floor. It
floor.
wasn't necessarily that hot. It was the humidity that was.
Of course. And plus it's a second story.
Second floor, 80-year-olds, no elevator.
There was an elevator, but it was not indicated on the invitation that there was. The planning of this party is a whole other story. I was not involved in the planning. I asked
of course not.
to be, but I found out about it too late. It's a whole that this could.
So hold on. So you then had a sense of dread when you said, "Hey, I'll help you plan for this," and they said, "No, we got it." At that point, which is probably about two days before the event, you were probably sitting in your chair going, "This is going to be so bad." Like you're already having that fight or flight. Like, what can I do? I already prostituted myself. I already feigned, bro. Like I got nothing left in your bag of tricks to get out of this.
Well, no, I knew I couldn't get out of this one. So no, you need to back up like 4 weeks to when they hadn't even sent out invitations yet. So no, the two of them, executive, their mom turned 80 in March, and we did a dinner for her at the time. Like I had to endure that too at a French restaurant.
Why are we doing another birthday party? She already turned 80. We did that, right?
This is something their family does. I don't get it. My parents are like, that's weird, but whatever. It's normal to them, so fine. So back in March, they said, yeah, we're going to do something else for the mom and stepdad later. And I thought, I'm like, oh, they'll forget about this for a while.
Yeah, you kind of like go like, you know what? That's a problem for tomorrow. Future Christina will deal with this problem.
Yeah. So then one day in late April, now because there's sometimes tension between me and the triumvirate, my husband will frequently go in the basement when his brother calls him, which is hilarious because I can hear everything anyway.
He thinks he's planning this stuff secretly. He knows you're irritated at. I'm going to take this conversation in the basement to keep it from my wife.
Well, I don't even know. No, it's just any conversation with his brother he takes to the basement. So I just hear him say, well, and we have to get invitations out. I'm like,
you heard the word invitation between your unkie and his jelly-headed brother.
Yes,
and you're like,
between unkie and flunky, I hear,
unkie and flunky.
So
it's a shit show. You already know it's a shit show. Whatever, it doesn't matter what it is. It's
like she's up there. I picture Christina up there like she's dealing with some food or whatever, and she hears invitation, and instantly your heart
just doing the dishes, and I hear, and we have
this
to get
motherfucker's down there talking in his clubhouse to his fucking about invitations, and instantly you know like the food's going to be off. There's going to be problems.
So of course, at this point, I don't know anything. I let it go. I let it go all day, and later that day,
oh my God,
I
Christina.
said, did I hear you say something to your brother about invitations? And Bruce, his response was, I swear to God, like when a little kid, their mom catches them playing with matches, and they're like, I'm not playing with matches.
Yeah.
He was basically like, who? I don't have a brother. Who? What do you mean? I wasn't talking to anyone.
Dan.
It's the spectrum, man. The way their brains work, it's weird. Yeah.
All right, sorry for interrupting. Keep going.
No. So I said, are you planning a party for your mom? And he goes, yes. I go,
You
okay,
caught me.
what are, what are the details? And he
Yeah.
says where it's going to be, which is a very pricey venue. It's a private club. And by the time he told me about it, the contract was already signed. The menu was already picked.
He told you about it, and you're like, "Is that a good idea? Doesn't that not have air conditioning? I'm pretty sure that doesn't have. It's on the second floor." Like you brought up all these logical things, and it was like, no, too late. It's all done. It's happening.
I would have brought this up if I had been given the opportunity. But the number one thing I said is, I would like to know what the menu is, because people are going to think I had something to do with this party, and I don't want to be responsible for it. And
You said that to him. You said that to him before the thing, and did he get upset?
He got very mad at me.
Very mad at you.
Very mad at me, and he said, "My brother and I are planning this. Your input is not needed."
Oh, hell no.
So I go, okay, all right. I said, I just hope there's enough food, because Dan, show the Easter feast.
Well, to be fair, I had said, and she agreed, they're going to be bailed out by the fact that you're going to give the venue a head count. And the venue is then going to say, okay, it's 30 people. We'll have this many sandwiches, this much this, but they still fucked it up, Bruce.
Because I think, and this is what I don't know because I wasn't involved, I think they were just given a menu and said, tell us how many platters of sandwiches you want. I think that's how it went. But again, I don't know because I wasn't involved. So then we go to the party. It's hot.
This is unbelievable.
And it is upstairs, up a long flight of stairs. Picture an old mansion, and you've got to walk.
Christina,
up to
when you're driving
floor.
to the event, are you in a car with Unky? Driving in the same car?
This, I try to drive separate whenever possible, but to this,
Always
Unky insisted on driving together.
Was it so that you can have like this entrance where you show up very old school, like the woman on the arm, you walk into the room like a couple? Is that part of it?
Kind of, but also more just like, he's like, he's like, always like, I just want to be with you. And
I want to be with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dan,
I know.
I just want to be with you, Dan.
I know. Dan hates it.
I hate it.
It's like mommy. That's the thing I don't like about it. Anyway, go ahead.
So I get there, and from the second I walk in the door, old people don't know where they're going because there's the invitations did not include which room.
It's a mansion. There should be like a fucking sign up that says, "Hey, the 80th birthday soiree is this way with an arrow."
Yes.
Okay, that's not there. It's stifling hot. It's confusing. No one knows if there's an elevator.
Everywhere.
Walkers everywhere. Places
and
filled with
the elevator is not obvious. Okay.
No, you got to walk the other wing to get. Oh my god.
You've got old people already starting to worry about their blood sugar because it's 2 p.m. Okay.
Right. It's 2 p.m.
Now, had I planned this,
oh my God,
I would have said, because it's 2 p.m. and because it's old people, the second you walk in the door, you need to have some past hors d'oeuvres, because
the minute you walk in, you got to start grazing.
Got to start feeding them the second you walk in. No.
Oh my God, this was not done. So we're seeing a photo here of the sad layout. When everyone walked into the room, there's no food anywhere.
No food out for the first.
You're kidding?
Hour.
Nothing to nosh on. No snacks. Nothing.
I did not know this. Wow.
Dan, this is fucking wild. Wow. This is wild.
There were beverages. There was beer, wine, and soft drinks. No.
Yeah, it's hot and it's in the afternoon. Let's have some alcohol. Have some fucking alcohol.
Well, they had alcohol.
I'll tell you. Bruce is like criticizing it, say it's hot. So. I was indulging. I was hoping for a full bar, honestly.
Yeah, but for old people that are low, I'd like to have health concerns. If they're already not doing good, you don't want to add alcohol into oh my God.
Right.
I'm fucking reeling, Dan. I didn't
know
this. No cashews. No fucking trail of cashews.
Not a bowl of trail mix, not a cookie, not a pop over.
And the old people are walking in going, I'm hungry and there's nothing here.
Yes.
Right,
yes.
Dan?
Of course, but again, these people don't operate in our reality. And
No.
even if people had said something, they're not going to hear it. They're going to think that guy must be weird. That guy's weird. He wanted to eat. That's weird. Like you can't. This is spectrum, Bruce.
You know what? You know what I'm learning from all this? I'm turning into an anti-spectrumite. You know, like
they're challenging. They're challenging.
I just like, you know what? If you live in our world, you know, like there are some things like, hey, you might want to. This is blowing me away. I don't really have too many people in the spectrum in my.
But these people don't know they're on the spectrum, Bruce. That's the difference.
And will not. I've tried to talk to my husband and say, I think you might be on the spectrum, and he goes.
I mean, it's textbook.
Okay, so let's bring us back into your world. So you're walking in with your husband, arm in arm. It's hot.
No, I don't even get to walk it. No, Bruce, it was disaster from the second we got there because immediately I see old people being dropped off and not knowing where to go. So I hop out of the car and I immediately start helping. Well, my husband goes and parks the car. Okay. So I'm immediately doing like crisis.
You're suddenly like some sort of like a maitre d', right? You're suddenly
I'm the
like
maitre d'.
Suddenly, like, and they didn't hire anyone, so these old people are walking around like, huh? And you're like, hi, are you here for the? And you usher them in. You say,
well, to the right. I know them, like they were at my wedding and stuff. So I'd be like, oh cousin Judy, good to see you. Let me help you upstairs. I didn't have to guess, you know. I knew them. So I would get them upstairs, and then eventually, you know, like everyone gets into the room, and then the twins do a toast to their mom and stepdad.
I saw the photo of the twins doing the toast. I don't know. Dan's probably not going to put it up there.
No, I'm not going to do that. But oh my god!
But it was. I want to describe the photo because like Dan sent me the photo before I even knew the story. And quite frankly, Christina, I didn't know the story was this fucking bad until like you started telling me the details about the story. Like Dan didn't even give me a clue. I am just flabbergasted on how horrible this whole situation is. So, but Dan did send me this picture of the Unkies giving a toast.
You saw a video. You saw the video.
I screenshotted it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And but I saw the Unkies there with the glass of wine, and they were dressed nice with the button-down shirt, you know. And he did like the pan around the video, and you could see that it was just filled with like super old people, you know,
lots of walkers,
and the whole vibe just looked like. I told Dan, I said, I don't know anything about this story, but just from the visual alone, I'm kind of like, I'm having that fight or flight because I've had a family situation like that, and I just want to get the hell out of there. Just on the looks alone. Yeah, I see two well-dressed dudes. I see two well-dressed dudes in button-down shirts holding a nice glass of white wine, getting ready to talk. That alone, I'm like, I'm out of there. I'm out of there.
And that's fine. It's not for you. In principle, I don't have a problem throwing a party like that for my mother-in-law and stepfather-in-law.
You're more of a normal person than me and Dan. God bless you.
But what I do have a problem with is we're responsible for half the bill, and I handle our finances. I had no say in it, and my worst fear came true.
Okay, so Unky and his brother, Unky and Flunky, who we call them.
Yes.
Did they split this 50-50 cost-wise?
Yes.
And let me guess. You got home and you found out, or at some point you found out the dollar amount of the 50% of what.
No, we haven't been billed yet. And
he was very cagey about it.
Very cagey.
He's keeping, and he could. Is he being cagey about it because he know that you're gonna freak?
I think he's being cagey about it because he knows he was wrong to not talk to me about it before the contract was signed.
Oh, Bruce, there's more. Okay, Bruce.
Please, give me more.
The beauty of these people is they're amazingly predictable. So
Dan, I'll let you tell that.
So
I got to hear from Dan. You know what? I really enjoy Christina telling the story, but so Dan's been silent. Dan's been silent. I gotta hear.
the couple who've been together since 1985.
I'm dying.
They make a nice living. they make significantly more money than Christina and Unky do, right? And someone who's not tacky trash would say, you know what, Unky, you guys don't make as much. How about we'll cover the cost of the whole thing and you just do the flowers or you just do whatever, right?
Yeah.
But or you do the bar, right? Or something like that.
Right.
The bitch, the sister-in-law is like obsessed with money. And so it's going to be 50% to the nickel, but it gets better. It gets better, Bruce, because I predicted this from the jump. I said, here's what's going to happen. She's going to insist that she covers the whole thing on her airline credit card.
To get the miles.
And then have Unky pay her back with cash. Which is exactly what happened. I predicted
Christina.
and Unky admitted it. Bruce?
Yes.
It's hard to come up with cash. I mean, right?
You know what I mean? Not cash or check or whatever.
We would have paid.
No, but that sucks
cash.
because that sucks. This is a benefit for her. Oh, I'm going to do something.
I don't have enough available credit to put it on my own credit card.
I want you guys to ask me something. Unky's going to make payments to this bitch, and then she gets the extra miles. And
for her to go on some fakakta trip. Oh, this was fucking Dan. That is infuriating.
It's amazing. They are garbage.
That little detail is fucking infuriating. She gets this little benefit. Let me put you through a little extra added pain, so that I get a benefit, dude.
They are garbage. They are absolute garbage human beings. Period.
Bruce, you don't even know the half of it. We could do another podcast where I tell you stories that would blow your mind.
The whole podcast needs to be like the Christina show.
The free trip journals or something,
Triumvirate.
This broad,
call the podcast the Triumvirate.
So this broad, again, I don't want to get too deep into this. I want to get back to the party, but this broad is a rare person in life, Bruce, that has literally not a single redeeming quality. She's not nice. She's not good looking. She's not smart. She's not funny. She's got nothing, but she has one thing. It's not, I wouldn't call it a redeeming quality, but she has one amazing talent. And that is working the system for free trips, either like this, using the card, or she works for the government. She has a public job.
So she's got money.
Well, she finds ways to work the system in order to I want to go to this conference.
You're saying she's got no redeeming qualities, but Flunky, let me ask you this. Is Flunky with her because of these financial perks? Part of it?
Flunky's on the spectrum, and he got hooked into her when he was 15. And the thing about spectrum people is, if you leave it up to them, they'll never get divorced. Like, she could be the worst person on earth; it wouldn't matter. Like she's
on the spectrum too a little bit. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We believe they're all undiagnosed, but we think we could prove it.
This is unbelievable.
Flunky is no prize. Don't get me wrong, but this woman, I can't even wrap my like I said.
I saw a picture of Flunky and Unky standing there, and Christina's right. He's a good-looking dude. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I just meant in general. Flunky has so many bad other things; it ruins that for me. But anyway, she just has no redeeming qualities.
They're good-looking and they can be charismatic, but you'll be having a conversation with Flunky. Bruce, I don't know what kind of phone you have, but let's say you have an Android. He'd look at you and go, "Who has an Android in this day and age? Haven't you heard of an iPhone?" And here's all the
kind of like rude, dismissive behavior.
He's a snob.
Yeah,
period.
That's not cool, man. I would fucking call him out on that shit, man. I get back to the party. So we're at the party.
And I'm just literally running around catering to old people, trying to make sure they don't pass out, making sure they have a chair, making sure they have. Had
you entered the main room yet, where you saw there's no food? Like, you're back and forth. Are you going back and forth? Like, when's the moment you walk into the main room and see that there's no, like, see the messy tablecloth and all this shit? When did you walk into the main room and see that? Tell me about that.
That was right off the main room. So I was aware that the food hadn't been served yet. And I was aware that there were no past hors d'oeuvres.
And that probably made your soul just drop.
It was like, I knew it. This is what I feared. Like, yeah.
Did you make eye contact with Unky and be like,
okay. So food gets served.
Okay, hold on. So you're there for a while. There's no food. Motherfuckers come in with trays.
No, yeah, they set up it's a buffet style. So the toast at the very end of the toast,
Right.
Flunky goes, food's being served, chow down.
Oh, I heard that. Okay, right.
Yeah.
All
Chow
7
down.
of you who are able to get a sandwich, please chow down.
Okay.
How long
did it start before the toast was made and the food came out? Like, is that an
hour?
hour?
Yeah,
oh, that's way too long. Oh my God.
An hour with 0.0 food.
Hot. Old people hot. Just fucking.
So the food is served. It's a stampede, probably.
Old people in their walker. I mean, the walkers were, on fire getting over.
Dan told me there were roast beef. There's like a tray of roast beef sandwiches, a tray
Those are gone. Those get eaten the menu right away.
Yeah, tell me the menu.
Here's the menu.
Be specific. I love food related.
There was a bowl of arugula, a giant bowl of arugula.
What is arugula? I don't even know what
it's a shitty
it's a type of lettuce. No, it's very good. I actually really like arugula.
I hate arugula.
Okay, bowl of lettuce.
Lettuce.
It's considered higher class.
I'm ignoring that immediately. What's the food? What?
It's arugula, a bowl of berries, blueberries, raspberries, and some various salad dressings. Then there were 3 types of sandwiches. These fakakta tomato sandwiches that when I yelled at my husband about them, he goes, "They're caprese." I go, "They had more tomato on them than anything, and they're ugly, and no one wanted them."
Right.
Then there was
Christina is very passionate. You got more. You've been talking about a lot of horrible things for an hour. You're more passionate about these tomato sandwiches than any of the horrible things your husband has done.
More than prostituting myself and getting my parents to lie for me. The tomato sandwiches, Bruce, by that time in the week, the tomato sandwiches wore me down. I couldn't do it.
That was the tomato that broke the camel's back.
Pulled you over the edge. Yep. There's always something, right? Isn't it? There's always something that's it. Look at these fucking tomato sandwiches.
So no one eats the tomato sandwiches. What are the other 2? There's a roast beef.
There's got to be turkey. Turkey, right?
It was a turkey wrap, which looked super gross to me. Now,
I don't like turkey wrap. I am with you on that.
Okay, if you're asking people to come out, let's not forget, this was a holiday weekend. This was Memorial Day weekend.
People I want hot dogs and hamburgers. You know what I mean?
Let's say you're coming to a fancy place like this. You deserve at least one warm entree. So here's what it's.
You need a warm entree.
It was the arugula, which was a pretend salad, and then 3 types of sandwiches. The third sandwich was a roast beef sandwich. So what should have been was fine. You can have your rabbit salad. But there needs to be another side, like a pasta salad or something.
Something
like that.
Starchy, something that fills you up. That's starchy.
Yes.
Yeah, pasta salad. Fuck yeah.
Then you could have had sandwiches. You could have the fakakta tomato sandwiches. Fine.
And you could fill up on the pasta salad. I would eat 2 tomato sandwiches and fill up on the pasta salad. Couple berries. I'm not happy, but I'm not irritated.
Then you can have your dumb turkey wraps. Fine. Then. Instead of the roast beef sandwiches, you should have had hot carved roast beef.
Oh, yes. Fuck.
That is what was missing. Okay. Yeah. Past hors d'oeuvres and the hot carved roast beef and a side like pasta salad is what was missing.
I would have fucked up some of that. That would have been great.
Those 3 things would have made this party viable. Okay.
Yeah.
But no.
God, Christina, no.
So all I'm doing the entire I'm barely even aware what time it is or what's going on. Other than having a glass of wine in my hand constantly.
You're chauffeuring old people around. You're doing
yes.
You're the maitre d'. You're the maitre d'.
Yes. I'm making sure that old people are tended to.
Oh my God.
So then I look, everyone is on the first wave of food is done, and I look. That is the moment I took that picture that you're.
You took these 3 photos?
That is, I took all those. Okay. That is during peak meal. You can see that there is nothing left on the roast beef tray and nothing left on the
turkey wrap
tray, and there are few tomato sandwiches left.
So even though they didn't order enough food, even though like we could talk about what kind of food they put out, right? We could talk about that all day, which I love doing. But again, the fucking Unky and Flunky made bad decisions on the amount of the fucking food. Like do a head count and do a little basic math and figure out what would I eat? What would I have on a plate? Times that. Look, I'm terrible at math. Dan knows this. I can't figure out what time it is. This fucking podcast. But look, I would even be able to divide what I want by how many people are there and could be like, you know what? We need at least 60 sandwiches. You know?
And also, if the roast beef went so fast, you order 2 more roast beefs than you do the tomato sandwiches. You just
they have the food. But there's a kitchen on the premises. You can call them and be like, we need more roast beef up.
So at this point, at the point I took this photo, and I took this photo for proof, same way I took that photo from that Easter feast as proof. Right. I went to my husband, and that was my Easter feast.
I love when Dan switches the photos.
So I went to my husband, and I pulled him by, like, kind of violently by the elbow. I was gripping his elbow.
Hold on. During this event, and you're taking pictures, you're angry. You're visibly angry. You see the tomato sandwiches. You're over the edge. You're over the edge. You're hungry. I didn't get to eat. I've been chauffeuring around old people. Bite. I don't want a fucking tomato sandwich. You're personally hungry.
Yes.
Okay.
And I pulled him aside.
You pull him aside. Hey, listen, motherfucker.
I did that thing you do when you're so angry, but you're trying to be quiet, so you talk between your teeth. I go, listen, there is not enough food, and I told you this would happen. This is why I wanted you to consult me with the menu. So what does Unky do?
But that must have felt good to say.
We know what Unky's going to do. Duh.
Yeah.
What does he do? What does he say to that?
Unky goes to the problem. He goes to Flunky. And the two of them order more tomato sandwiches.
Oh, hell no, he did not order more tomato sandwiches. There's no way you ordered more tomato sandwiches.
I'm telling you, man.
They ordered more roast beef, but what you're looking at in that picture is the second round of tomato sandwiches. Like,
okay, why would you order more tomato sandwiches? Were they cheaper?
Probably because they're cheaper, I would guess. I don't know.
When you're dealing with this disorder, it's like a different species. It's the best way.
But here's the thing. I know some autistic people. And the autistic people that have been diagnosed will hold themselves accountable and will say, look, I don't get to be a bad person. I don't get to be inconsiderate because of this disorder. It doesn't give me, just like a person in a wheelchair doesn't have an excuse to be just an asshole to everybody because they're in a wheelchair. It's up to them to diagnose it and to treat it and to, be as accommodating as possible. Yes, it's definitely upon other people to realize conditions and limitations and stuff and to accommodate them. But there is a balance. It's not free reign to just go through life. Am I wrong, Dan? Christina?
No, the ones who are diagnosed, they're still challenging, but you're right. The ones who've been diagnosed have been taught, look, your brain works differently than other people's brains. You have to realize that when you're dealing with other people, sometimes you need to take a beat, take a step back. But these two, you forget it. They're in their own
Christina,
reality.
what do you think about that?
You can't say anything. Zero self-awareness, none whatsoever.
Is that the most challenging thing?
Yes.
Is that hands down the most challenging thing in your relationship? Like, we all put up with things in our relationship that keep us in the relationship, and there are things about the relationship that are like, if this gets any worse, I'm going to leave. And is like, how close are we to getting to that threshold with this action?
Oh no, I mean, this event does not reflect my marriage by any means. This is just the nonsense that I deal with, that I try to fix, but the universe doesn't let me.
You can't fix this shit when it's not, especially not without a diagnosis. Like, you're dealing with people that you must seem like an alien from another planet to them.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure they think I'm I'm.
Do you think they talk about you, right?
They think I'm mean. They think I'm mean.
Meanwhile, as I told her, like my wife, you put her in this situation, she's cussing them out, they're retards, and what the fuck is wrong with you? And like Christina's is a sport. She goes along with it. Like most people, like me,
I
I'd be like,
just talk about it on podcasts, but I don't say.
Right.
I would go at it.
Right.
I would go
You
at
just
it.
like-
I would be relentless. I would be relentless.
By the way, Christina, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for talking about it on the podcast, because like I'm like beside myself on how irritated I am, and it's something that just hearing about it, because I think we're kindred souls. I think all three of us are on some things, being Howard Stern fans and being fans of things that irritate us. Let's be honest. We're fans of things that irritate us, As fucked up as that is, I think you have that same fucking disorder. Some people have autism. You've got the same fucked up disorder that me and Dan have, where we are strangely attracted to things that irritate us. And we like being irritated. And we like that makes no fucking sense. But what other explanation could there be?
Yeah, I'm open to that theory.
I've told Christina, I think on some weird level, she likes how fucked up these people are.
Yeah.
Which I kind of get, but the difference with me is like my first marriage was similar to this, different set of problems, no autism or anything, but I had to put up with this kind of shit, and it was absolutely a deal breaker. Like I did not enjoy it.
There are definitely couples, like we probably all know these type of couples. They're usually younger couples that are like addicted to drama. Like the couples that there are couples that call it spicy. They like to argue and they like to mix it up, and they like to sort of like have drama and conflict in their lives. And it's part of their relationship. I'm not saying Christina has drama and conflict, but it's just something that is like not completely, average, that everyone has different in their relationship, that maybe on some level, I mean, I'm not a therapist, but what do you think about that?
I think I'm just used to not having anything normal. I told you my parents could be Seinfeld characters. By no means is my family normal.
Oh, that makes sense though.
And even the things, my job isn't normal. My extracurricular activities, like I serve on this crazy nonprofit board. I'll tell you about it, off. I don't want to discuss it on air, but it is certainly not a. Sorry, there's Pride Parade hijinks going on around me.
I love it.
There's really nothing normal. I don't think I know how to deal with normal, because nothing's normal in my life. I don't even have a normal dog. I just adopted a 13-year-old one-eyed dog.
I love that you did that. I love that Dan does that. I got a lot of problems with Dan, but one of them is I love that he does that so much. I think that is just such an endearing quality, because my dog is now 12. I've been through a couple dogs now, and there is absolutely nothing more heartbreaking, especially child-free couples, to lose a dog because they're old. And it just boggles my mind how you and Dan and other people can have such a big heart to adopt a dog that is only going to last about a year. And that you?
There's a car about to literally hit me. There's an SUV trying to fit in a spot where a Ford Festiva couldn't fit, and it's going to hit my car.
It's backing up?
It's backing up, yeah. Okay.
Here we go. We might have a podcast exclusive where Christina gets into it with Pride Parade attendees, and she gets out there and starts
performative culture war nonsense with featuring car accidents.
Okay.
I don't think it's nonsense. I'm going to disagree with you there.
I'm pro-gay. I'm anti. So you're for corporations using this to who don't pay a living wage?
I'm against capitalism, period. This is just a natural course of capitalism. They're using any ways they can get to make money. It's capitalism.
Sorry, the Humvee realized it couldn't fit in the Ford Festiva spot, so we're okay now.
Okay, good. Back to normal. Well, that is just an incredible story, Christina. Thank you for sharing with that, because I know that's a...
Are you over the hump? Is there anything coming up that we should know about? I mean, I know the one daughter is off.
So
Yeah.
then,
What future events? What future events are we going to give away sexual favors
yeah,
for?
there were a couple of things. Dan loves these little tidbits. Like, okay, so deal with the party, and then Unky had surgery on Wednesday, but I'm not going to
I
talk
thought you
about
weren't going
that
to
right
talk
now.
about this.
Well,
Only talk about stuff
just
you're comfortable with, please. Don't.
Unky had surgery. It's not like he's not in any.
It's
health
minor. It's minor.
It was a minor surgery, but his
Yeah.
reaction to it was major. But the night before his surgery, our 22-year-old niece went off to, she's doing a semester, even though she just graduated, she's doing a semester in Europe. So, gee, I knew she was going to do the semester in Europe. So why was I shocked that, so like, why did she graduate if she's not done with school yet? So that's why I was so caught off guard by the brunch I had to pay for, and the graduation there was no ticket for me for. So, Unky,
I mean, yeah. Usually, graduation means college is over.
yeah, no, she left she's spending the entire month of June in Europe, and it's for school. So there was a dinner to say goodbye to her before
Oh
she
my
left for
God,
Europe.
Dan, no.
No.
Is
Now,
there a dinner for every? Is
Everything.
there's got to be some sort
there'll
of
be
get together.
Bruce, not joking, there'll be a dinner when she comes back. Like, oh, she's home. We got to get together.
So, Christina, my question to you is, if I may be so bold, what is the deal breaker? Like, how close are we getting to be like, you know what? I don't care that you're on the fucking spectrum. I'm not doing this anymore. Like, at some point, do you ever put down your foot and be like, because quite
Thanksgiving.
frankly,
She's doing it for Thanksgiving.
tell me about Thanksgiving. Yeah, let's hear about that.
Thanksgiving. Oh, now, it's so funny.
Are you okay? Blink if
totally
are you
fine.
okay?
Yeah, totally
Thanksgiving is where she finally I have been trying to get her to put her foot down for years. Like
I know. Now, I'm with Dan 100% on this.
These people do not have a right to just expect you to morph into their reality.
I have an idea, Dan. Me and you are going to pretend to be the gay couple, right?
Yes.
And we're gonna. I'm just gonna fly out there. I'll wear a button-down shirt.
Yeah.
And we're gonna be the gay couple, and we're gonna be Christine's like gay friends. Right?
Yeah.
And we won't we'll say the shit to Christina's fucking unky, flunky, everybody.
Listen, unky.
That Christina's been wanting to say. But
you can forget it.
but like, honey, how dare you?
Your white trash party is not good enough for us.
Where's the food?
Yeah, right.
Where's the food?
Excuse me, there's 10 people here. You have 3 sandwiches.
And I'm going up to the old people. I'm being like, are you okay, mister? Do you want a roast beef sandwich? Get Mr. Johnson some roast beef. We're not paying for the roast beef. The fuck you aren't. He's going to fucking...
Excuse me, if I'm coming to a graduation party for your stupid
Christina,
daughter,
I would love absolutely nothing.
I
would love nothing more than to show up and be Dan's gay friend and be Dan's gay couple and be your like gay, like, you know,
my
every
wingman.
Woman, you need gay friends.
I would have a field day with these people. Kidding? Listen, Rain Man, I don't care.
Tell me, dude. All right. Christina, tell me about Thanksgiving. What's this coming up? Okay. Thanksgiving?
See, I'm happy to talk about Thanksgiving. It's now here's the thing. I love Thanksgiving. It's actually probably my favorite holiday.
It's can I interject? Thanksgiving is hands down my favorite holiday. Yeah. I loathe all holidays, but I love Thanksgiving the most because it enjoys straight up gluttony and sloth. If you do it right.
I love it.
Yeah, because I've removed family from the equation.
Table, though? Can I set a table real quick?
Yeah,
Thanksgiving has been an oasis for Christina because it's like the one major holiday where, for whatever reason, the triumvirate does not get together.
What? How is that possible?
Because, I will tell you, it's a very simple reason.
Oh, I love it. What's going on?
The sister-in-law. Okay, so I'm going back. Now, in my family, Thanksgiving was never that big for us because my dad is a retired truck mechanic, so he would work every Thanksgiving to get triple pay. It's not that we didn't celebrate Thanksgiving, have family over and stuff, but it wasn't like held with the same
It wasn't like a thing, like it was Christmas, like everybody else. Yeah.
Like my mom never expected me to be home for Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
If I wanted to spend it with friends, that was fine.
Okay.
And in fact, the first few years my husband and I were together, that's exactly what we did, because a lot of our friends are in the local orchestra here, and the orchestra performs, they start to perform a lot of their concerts around Thanksgiving. So they don't really have a break. So we would actually, we called it Friendsgiving, which I hate.
Oh,
I
I
actually
love
hate that term.
Friendsgiving. I
But
love that.
for years and years and years, we would do Friendsgiving. And also, I have an aunt and uncle who live in Manhattan. They we could see the parade from their balcony. We've done Manhattan a few times for Thanksgiving. Like, it was kind of I love this footloose and fancy-free Thanksgiving that we always did.
I
So
love it.
then, there was one year.
Dan, why are you smiling? You know the hammer's coming?
Oh,
I know it's
he
coming
was-
in 2023. 2023 was just
So, in fact, so I'm going to go back to, I'm going to say like around 2011. My parents were coming up for the weekend, and I sent an email. I decided that for not on actual Thanksgiving, but the Sunday of Thanksgiving, I was going to have my family and my husband's family over. So I sent out an email to the whole family, and it was titled Sunday Thanksgiving. Sunday Thanksgiving. And I listed all the details, said, I'm inviting you over. Here's the deal. My sister-in-law replied within 2.5 seconds. And the entire email was, we usually spend Thanksgiving with my family. That was it.
Oh, like line in the sand, dominance. Look, no, we're not doing your thing. Oh, wow.
Also making it clear she didn't read the email, because I wasn't inviting her over for Thanksgiving. I was inviting her over for the Sunday after Thanksgiving. Yeah.
In the title of the email. Yeah.
Yes. So I said, great. Okay. Well, I'm not inviting you over for Thanksgiving. So I've got this tattooed in my head. They usually spend Thanksgiving with her family. So for years, I didn't even hear their name on Thanksgiving.
Must have been great. You look forward. That's
glorious.
part of the reason you love Thanksgiving.
Glorious.
Favorite holiday.
Glorious.
Well, I don't know what's changed, but all of a sudden they're not spending Thanksgiving with her family anymore. I don't know the reason why.
No.
So now you have to understand, I also spend automatically, they get every Christmas Eve and every Easter. They get
It's everything. They get everything. They Easter, Christmas, fucking Columbus Day, Memorial
Uncle's birthday, Mother's Day,
Uncle's birthday, 80th birthday. Every week it's fucking something.
The barbecue because the daughter got a wart removed.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, this is too much.
They got a new awning on the back deck. We got to celebrate. So
I can't even.
This year, one of their uncles died. Now, they hadn't seen this uncle in like 30 years, and he died. But they were very upset. This uncle's death caught them really off guard. So so Flunky decides he's going to host Thanksgiving, but Flunky doesn't just do like, when you host Thanksgiving everyone in the world I know who hosts Thanksgiving, they provide the turkey, gravy, mashed potatoes.
Those are
bread.
The rules. Yeah, everybody knows
stuffing.
Those rules. Yes.
So no, he's going to host Thanksgiving. I'm expected to come.
Was this 2023 or this is upcoming?
2023.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm expected to come, and it's potluck. The invitation specifically was if you don't have anything else to do. Well, as I've explained, my parents have been in poor health. So, and I also work full time. So what I was going to do is use Thanksgiving Day to prep an entire Thanksgiving meal to take to my parents, to cook for them, but on Friday. So like I needed all day Thanksgiving to cook.
Yeah, it's a huge job.
It's huge. It's enormous.
Yeah, turkeys take like fucking 7 hours to cook. That's a huge
but just
job.
Everything, all the prep, the dicing of the celery and carrots and stuff. So my husband. So I said, to my husband, I was like, no, I don't, I can't go. I don't want to go. And he he did not speak to me for like 5 days because I said I wasn't going. And he threw a tantrum. I mean, stomping his feet, face beat red. And all this was about the
stomping his
uncle.
feet, like literally stomping.
Stomped his feet like a toddler tantrum.
Dan
knows about this. So
it's not surprising that when you're dealing with that disorder and it's something that matters to them, like a fixation, you're not getting around it. Period.
Yeah,
it's not totally right, man.
No, it's not. So here's what I do. And this was my mistake. So I call Flunky, and this had to be like 5 days before Thanksgiving, and I go, look, your invitation says if we have nothing else to do, we're welcome to come. I said, to be honest, I'm cooking a whole meal for my parents to take the next day. And he goes, well, I don't see why that means you can't come to my house on Thanksgiving.
Oh.
And by the time I was off the phone, not only did I have to, was I still expected at Thanksgiving, I had to bring 2 side dishes.
It's a fucking potluck, Bruce.
It's because it's a potluck, because he's just providing the turkeys. And I kept like, I have this one recipe that I always make called a corn souffle. I was like, well, Chuck may go, I'll send a corn souffle with him. He goes, that works, but we also need stuffing. Oh. I'm like, and so I'm like, just really trying to like get out of this and say, I wasn't going to say like, I don't want to come. I kind of
wish you would have, though. I kind of wish you would have.
I was saying that to my husband. Oh, Bruce, the day of Thanksgiving, you would not have wanted to be at our house. I was banging pots and pans. I was screaming. And
This is horrible.
It was the worst Thanksgiving of my life. It was the worst Thanksgiving of my life.
Did you go? So you went to that Thanksgiving.
So I go. I go.
Dan. You know all this, Dan? You know all the story?
He knows every detail. He got live updates from it.
The best part, the part of this that's my absolute favorite part of this, that just I love, is she is visibly annoyed about the whole thing for a week. The guy doesn't speak to her for days at the idea that she won't go. She finally says, fuck you, fine, I'll go, right?
Under extreme shows
protest. She shows up with her goddamn whatever dishes, and he's like, cool. Like, no, like, hey, I really know you hate being here. I get it.
Yeah, no acknowledgement, no ability to read the room and be like, look, Bruce, I know it's... Oh.
During the dinner, he grabbed my wrist and he goes, thank you for coming. Put his hand on my wrist, like, thank you for coming. Bruce, let me tell you what the menu was, okay?
Oh, this is good too. Yeah.
Flunky,
can I just interject? Okay, Thanksgiving is so fucking important. Like we joke about the food, right? We joke about the food and different things.
Pivotal.
Thanksgiving is based around the food, and everybody knows there are definite universal rules about Thanksgiving. I don't care what culture you're from, that I mean, it's so deeply ingrained in the American culture. Thanksgiving, and so I'm already so scared to hear about what's happening since these guys, fucking Unky and Flunky's horrible track record when it comes to planning. By the way, Thanksgiving involves a massive amount of planning to get everything out at the right fucking time. You got to be a brain surgeon to get this done right. How to plate everything comes at the same time. You got to be really good at fucking planning. Can't be a flake. All right, I'm holding on. What do you got for me? Thanksgiving.
So Flunky made a big deal about how he's cooking 2 turkeys. Now, Flunky has a recently renovated kitchen. It has 3 ovens.
Wow. That's dripping money.
Whatever. I'm not going to comment on that.
Jesus Christ.
Tell me about the chickens. I'm sorry, the turkeys. The turkeys.
So that is the only thing he made. Everything else was potluck. So I bring my corn souffle and I bring the stuffing
that he told you to bring.
Yeah. And now I knew how many people were going to be there, so my dishes were for that many people. My mother-in-law brought that fakakta that
The French
Green
bean
bean,
casserole
green
with
bean
the
casserole.
mushroom.
green
Yeah, I
bean
know it. I know it
casserole.
well.
Yeah.
And at the last minute, our niece boiled some potatoes
Oh no.
that were presented as mashed potatoes. I refuse to call them that.
Big chunks, like barely peeled, like they're not even.
Chunks.
Mashed
No
potatoes is a lot of
salt.
work. That's a lot of
Yeah.
work. You got to add milk and butter and really put some
Yeah.
grease into it.
Yeah. And then a well-meaning friend of ours brought
Oh my God.
a cold squash and garbanzo bean salad
That's
recipe from the
yucky.
New York
Nobody
Times.
likes that. No, Dan, right? Now that's disgusting. Nobody's looking for that.
Nobody.
Garbanzo beans have no business being anywhere in Thanksgiving.
Gross. Yeah.
Bruce is going to have an aneurysm.
I'm dying.
Bruce, this is a typical holiday for me.
So,
this is every holiday.
Let's see if Bruce can guess. Tell us what you think Flunky does in terms of his preparation.
All right, here's what Flunky does with it. He's got 2 turkeys. They are not done in time. He didn't start them early enough.
Well, yeah, of course. That's a given.
Late
Number
is
two,
given.
he cooked it too much. It's dry.
No. Come on,
he
Bruce.
fucking cooked it with the plastic bag of guts.
No.
No, these were like preps.
The turkey's way too small. Turkey's
way too small.
Way too small. 2 turkeys.
They were like,
each one is a 10-pound turkey.
They were like 2 pigeons.
Oh my God, dude.
Okay.
Ain't no way.
So I get there and I'm looking at these turkeys.
This is unbelievable. When do you first hold on? When do you first see the turkey? Do you walk into the kitchen? A lot of ovens have this the little like window, and you turn on the light.
They were already out. They were rested.
So you walk in and you see presented on the table are these 2 mini fucking turkeys.
I see.
You're walking in.
Hens. Yeah.
What do you say? What do you do?
I don't say anything because at this point I'm so aggravated, and I still have a full fucking meal to cook for my family. So I was exhausted, and
Christina.
It was this. So here's how I go through this. So I let this happen. I get the last of the white meat, and there are still 3 people behind me in line. There's no more white meat left.
Imagine running out of turkey on Thanksgiving.
I don't know.
I mean, really, the one day that you're expected to make. Look, you're expected to make way too much. This is not easy. This is not hard. You make way more than you need because then there's leftovers. Who doesn't love leftovers? What's the worst thing in the world that happens? Turkey sandwiches?
The thing that's strange is we still have to this day have not figured out what's behind this because it's not really. I don't think it's the money.
It can't be the money. Not if he's like that rich.
It's some weird mental block of his.
I don't know what it is. I don't know. So when my husband put his hand on my wrist and said, "Thank you for coming," it's because I was
blood like boil, like you were like.
Well, I had been giving him a death glare, and saying, "I am never doing this again. Don't even ask me." Good. And he goes, "Thank you for coming." And Bruce, I left hungry, but I was so tired, and I still had an entire meal to cook for my parents and travel the next day for to be gone for 3 days. And
you had to stay up all night and cook, basically.
I'm not good at that. What I did was I went home and went to bed and got up at like 5 a.m.
This is unbelievable. Cooking. This is unbelievable. And did Unky, when you were doing that, Unky's just like sleeping to 10 in the morning.
Yeah.
His day's done. You don't have to worry about it.
He told me he'd get up and help me, but what he ended up doing was packing the car. And also the dead uncle that this whole Thanksgiving was for, his name wasn't mentioned once. I never heard it. So the whole drive to Cleveland, my husband got an earful. And I said...
He went with you?
He went to Cleveland with me, yes.
Okay, good.
I said, don't ever ask me to do that again. The answer will be no. I said, I will out tantrum you. That's what I said. It's
That's
come up
funny.
a couple of times.
I will
since then.
out because you're dealing with a guy with autism, and it's going to be you can't win, you can't go. Like Dan said all the time during this whole podcast, you can't win, you can't win. That's just how it is. You can't win. And at some point, I know me is like, you know what? Fuck that. I don't even care anymore. I'll fucking throw a grenade in this whole situation. I will out tantrum you. You want to play games with Tism?
Yeah, but he's going to forget all about it. This is going to come up
He already
again.
has. And he's already started with and I've said I'm not going.
Okay, hold on. Okay,
well,
so you're driving.
Let me tell you, it's already started. And I said I'm not going, and he goes, well, you can tell him that. And I go, here's the
telling
problem.
you that.
I go, I will tell him that. I go, I don't think you want me to, but
who's him?
It was
Flunky?
The brother.
Flunky.
To tell Flunky.
Yeah.
Flunky.
I have no problem telling Flunky, I don't want to spend Thanksgiving at your house. You get Christmas, you get Easter, you get everything in between.
Yeah.
I'm not adding a holiday, and I'm certainly not adding Thanksgiving. You don't do it right.
This is new for 2024? This is new for this November.
It's way too soon in their world.
You have to understand in that disorder that you tell them something, they hear you, but it's almost like they forget and they rewrite history, and then you'll have to tell them again and again. He's going to bring it up. He's going to throw a tantrum. It may not be as bad, but it will be an issue.
Yeah.
So Christina, I mean, I'm proud of you for doing what you're doing and stuff, but I mean, I really am proud of you for that, because it's about boundaries and the disorder aside, and what Dan is saying is true, that they'll forget it and stuff like this. I mean, to be serious, yeah, you absolutely have to sort of like lay down like a line in the sand, for better words. Be like, and if it comes to look, and what Dan says is true. Like they'll forget it, they'll forget it. I'm always thinking out of the box. Like if it's me, I'm putting up, like literally, this is what neither me or Ro have autism or anything. But as far as planning goes, I made this thing that we put in in the hallway. It's the size of an enormous poster, and it's a year-long calendar. It's got every month, right? And I put, 5 months from now, I'm going to go to East Jesus. Or she's like, 2 months from now, I'm going to go hiking in Hawaii and stuff. We write it on the calendar. Mm-hmm. If it's me, I'm getting one of those, and I'm putting big red Post-it notes on it that says, not going to Thanksgiving. So that I'm not even joking. So that he walks by it every day and visual. Aren't artistic people good with visual? I know I am. And I'll see it and be like, completely. Oh, look at this, not going to Thanksgiving. Christina, please don't make us revisit this in November and be like, yeah, I have to go. Like,
oh my God,
no, I'm not going. No, I'm not.
Christina, just know how much I'm rooting for you and how much I am on your side.
If she had to go, Bruce, you and I have to go as the gay couple.
Oh, I can't. Please, Dan, let's go.
Listen, Bill. Let me tell you something. This is not an
I don't even have to do the. I don't even have to do the lisp that saucy. If you want to be the feminine one, that's fine.
Listen.
Look, and I will just dress super nice. And a woman like Christina, you know what, Christina, why don't you go outside and get yourself some gay friends? Because this is they will
clue how many. Bruce,
yeah, but like but
I serve on the board of a gay organization.
I know, but do you share with them what you're sharing with me and Dan? This kind of shit?
Oh yeah.
They must be way more. They must be way more angry about it than me and Dan.
They're perfect. They're a great support group.
Listen, Hillbilly Joe. I don't know what rock you crawl up. Where I come from, you don't do a potluck on Thanksgiving. You have plenty of food.
This is podcast, girlfriend. What are you doing? A podcast? No. We plan Thanksgiving. Well, how many people? You're having 10 people. You get a 25-pound bird. That's what you do. Oh, we're not spending the money, honey. You got fucking three free. You got 3 ovens here in this beautiful kitchen.
I'm not showing.
Don't tell me you don't have the money.
Buffet.
You're spending the money. Don't you tell me. Don't get your finger out of my face, honey. Listen, fuck you.
We would have a fun time.
Oh my God, Christina would be horrified. I just would be like, I had the tism, honey. I don't care that you got the tism. I don't care
what side the tism though. That's what makes it annoying.
Oh my God.
If they knew they had the tism, then it would be better because you could be like, okay, tism, and they, oh yeah, you're right.
I have an idea for Christina. You get a fun board game where it's like you sit around with cards and ask questions. Like a fun board game, but the board game is secretly. Or do you have autism? and it's the board game. And it's like you ask a series of questions, like yes or no questions. And at the end of it, like, oh, look, you scored a perfect score of like 98 out of 100. Guess what? Heavily autistic. See a doctor. You know? Oh my God. This podcast has been too fucking much.
This has been a lot.
Clocking in at 2 hours about Christina's.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm livid. I'm so charged up from this.
I know. Bruce and I, that's what makes this great, is that he and I on this topic are exactly the same. So like, this is how I feel. I get charged up about it too.
Oh, I'm so charged up about it. Christine, let me tell you about my Thanksgiving. Gotta be Joe. Okay, so I don't like holidays at all. I don't like Christmas. I don't like any of these fakakta holidays. They always involve traveling and family, and I put my hard foot down. Roast the same way, thank God. We don't want to deal with it. So a long time ago, we decided, hey, let's make Thanksgiving a holiday we really like. Mm-hmm. What do we like about Thanksgiving? I love eating just massive amounts of food. I love it. Love eating. What about lying around after the food, just being a sloth, like literally lying on the carpet, going immediately to sleep, like no exercise, right? Watching television all day. It doesn't have to be sports. Let's watch a bad movie, The Red Dawn. Let's watch
Rocky.
That.
Rocky always plays
Rocky's fucking great. Everything I would like. But what's the worst thing about Thanksgiving? Family and travel. Those two things, right? Yeah. So Ro and I made a conscious decision. What if, because there's no rules in life. There's no, what if we decided to make Thanksgiving good for us and eliminate the two awful things about family and travel? Let's get rid of it completely. Christina, when I tell you, you're going to love it. So our Thanksgiving morning, we wake up and we start cooking. By the way, we got all the food taken. It's just me and Ro. There's no phone calls. There's no going anywhere, no going in the car at all. I tell you that this is funny. And Ro pinches pennies like no other. Dan will tell you. But for Thanksgiving, we cook enough food just for the two of us, easily a family of 20. She gets a 25-pound bird. I'm not even kidding.
So there's more food for you two than these fakakta fucking.
Easily. So she makes the 25-pound bird. She gets up at 5 a.m. and starts cooking that bird because we're eating Thanksgiving dinner at 12:30 in the afternoon. Right?
Yeah.
And I will make that tray of green bean casserole. I make it that'll serve. It's so big. There's 5 cans of green beans in there, and I make the stuffing. And we get 5 fucking. There's 2 of us. We get 5 pies, pumpkin, cream, It goes on. The amount of food that we have, we put on the table for the 2 of us is disgusting. But the reason we do that is the second reason I really like Thanksgiving: the leftovers. Who doesn't fucking love leftovers? We are eating turkey and turkey-related Thanksgiving shit easily for the next 2 weeks. It's the turkey, it's the fucking turkey leftovers, and then it's the turkey sandwiches with the cranberry and the mayo on the white bread.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's good. And then since we don't waste any money, she'll fucking shred the turkey to its last bit. And then she will make a soup out of that and boil the bones to get the flavor from the bone. We don't waste nothing in this. Dan is holding his head. We don't throw anything out. So we are eating so much fucking food. And I love Thanksgiving because I wake up knowing that, guess what? I don't have to go anywhere or do anything. I don't have to get on the highway, get in the car, and all this. And I tell people this, and my sister thinks I'm crazy. Don't you miss seeing family? Isn't it for family? No, it's not. Every holiday, it can be for what you can make it. You want it to.
Yeah, I'm Bruce on this. Bruce and I are of one mind.
Yeah. No, so when I hear your family, the stories you told have gotten me angry, and they've gotten me upset for you because I could tell you're a good person, Christina, right?
Thank you.
And I could tell you're a good-hearted person. You're one of us also, and you got to deal with this fucking nonsense. Drives me nuts. And
that's what it is. Nonsense.
It's nonsense. And please have me and Dan together as the gay couple who will come and support you. And I'm going to yell at Unc. I have no problem. Dan will tell you. See, Dan, the thing about Dan, he's afraid of confrontation. I fucking love it.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I will want to yell at a
person.
What
if I'm in character, I could do it. If I'm the gay character, I could do it.
Okay, you could be my gay character. Yeah. You're the gay character. Hi. Don't you think that Dan and I will be a good gay couple? Yeah. I kind of think
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely.
We already bicker like one. Yeah. So I mean, all I need to Dan, look, I need to shave and put myself together. I look like a mess.
Yeah.
But Dan looks pretty good as it is. Dan looks
Yeah.
pretty metric. Dan can put himself together. I'm a mess.
Well,
Oh my God.
I'm going to wrap this up, but this has been fun. I'm excited to hear about Thanksgiving. We're holding you to this. If you guys,
Oh, I'm not going.
go
I'm
there.
not going. No.
All right.
No.
Christina, I gotta say, thank you for being on the podcast. It's been 2 hours long. I'm all worked up now. But
thank you guys for having me.
I am on your side on this, and good luck to you moving forward. And please keep putting your line in the sand. Think about yourself.
Oh, I have to pick my battles, but I think I do. That's what I do. I pick my battles, and
more in life, you're doing it more as time moves on, right? Like, don't you think that's true?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, she was definitely more of a pushover when I met her.
No, hold your boundaries. I love it when you hold your boundaries and you know what? I always tell Dan, I'll leave it at this. The word no as a sentence with a period at the end of it is a strong thing that most of us should just use. No explanation.
That's very true.
Just no with a period. Set it directly to the person in their eyes. No. That's it.
All right, we're going to say bye to Christina, and then Bruce and I will wrap, and then Bruce has to take it. Bruce, you need like a...
I'm dying over. I can't even believe
it. You need some herbal tea. Maybe a mimosa.
All right. Thanks, guys. Till next time.
Christina, thank you so much.
Let me know how the dog's doing.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man.
I did not think that would be that intense.
It is when that disorder is challenging in the best of circumstances, and when you're dealing with people who do not have a diagnosis and who think that they are normal, like they think she's the weirdo. It's wacky. It just is such a fascinating thing.
It is fascinating, but it's also maddening and frustrating because I'm a person who look, the reason I had a good job is because I'm good at solving problems. That's my whole thing. I like solving problems. And that's a problem, And if it's me and if I'm in that relationship, I'm looking for a way to solve the problem. And when I say that thing about,
can't be solved. I mean, you can't solve that. Even if you got him to accept,
you can't solve it. Okay, here's what. Look, I know that it's a disorder, and here's the thing: you can't solve it. The problem is the undiagnosed thing. That's a problem you can solve. You have to force this guy. Look, it's like addiction. You got to force this guy to look at look, this is a problem. You need to go to a doctor and be fucking diagnosed and listen to him. And because there's treatments for these. Look, if there's treatment for addiction, as bad as it is,
there's no treatment for a spectrum disorder.
But yes, there is. You can go and you can see a doctor and they can prescribe medications and you can make it therapy and make it aware of you.
No. For a true spectrum disorder, okay, there's no drugs for that. It just means your brain works differently, really. And all like the ones who are diagnosed and see a doctor, they go through life understanding that they're just.
But that's it. That's the answer then, Dan. I mean, I have a really, really good friend at East Jesus. His name is Matt. He's one of the guys. This guy's so heavily on the spectrum, so heavily autistic, and he knows he is. So he will fucking get caught up in a conversation, start yelling at me. He does all kinds of crazy, wacky things, But always, at the end of the day, he comes over and goes, "Hey, Bruce, I'm sorry for yelling at you or going off like I did. I was having a flare-up. I apologize for
it." Well, yeah, and that's
all you need, man.
Awareness will do. But when this guy's 54 years old. He's not open to the idea that something's wrong.
Time to be open.
People who go through life with that disorder, like he has, and he was born in the 70s. It's not that unusual. Like in that era to not be diagnosed.
You got to be dragged into the modern world, though, man.
The interesting thing about those people in general is they've gone through a lot of hardship in their lives because they don't know something's wrong. They have trouble holding down a job. They have trouble being in a relationship. They have
having friends, social circle. Yeah,
social situations are weird, and
you can't read social.
What they do is they sort of cope in other ways, and so I've noticed I have this all over my family, so I see it. But with her guy and his brother, those two cope by severe denial and by surrounding themselves only with people who will tolerate the behavior.
That's rough.
Now, I don't think they know they're doing this. I don't think you said to them, "Hey, why do you hang out with him and not him?" But they just are good about putting themselves in situations where they're not going to get called out, and because they're always late. It's little stuff. It's a million little things. You're always late.
They insulate themselves with enablers, to use an addictive term.
It is basically that. That's correct.
Yeah.
It is very similar to addiction in that way.
Very similar, dude.
The difference is, you know, addiction will kill you eventually. This won't kill you. This will just make your life difficult. And it is interesting. It's too late. He's 54. He's not going to get diagnosed. Okay. So it's just for her to be in a situation with 3 people, all of whom
I feel bad for her. I really do. Like, because I didn't know it was that bad, Dan. I really didn't. So
there's 3 of them.
That's the thing. If it was just so say it's just the husband. Say it's her and the husband,
right? Totally
and it's
different.
like, okay, look, I love him, but I'll be with him forever, and he doesn't have to get diagnosed. That's fine. Fine.
Yeah.
But to have 3 and the family and roped into it, and they're a mile away, and all this.
They're a mile away, and those 3 have been sort of the triumvirate, as I call it, since 1985, Bruce.
There ain't no way, dude.
The reality that they live in, their reality, is ingrained, tattooed, cannot be changed, cannot be altered.
But I predict she's not going to. But just from the conversation and having with her, I can tell that she's starting to have limits, and she's starting to voice them and be like, "I'm not doing this."
Yeah, she will. I mean,
and the part that I like what she said is like,
person.
"I'm going to out." I like how she says, "I'm going to out tantrum you." That gives me hope.
No. With the Thanksgiving thing with the line in the sand, I think that was the straw that broke the camel's back. But it's just a fascinating thing. Like I said, I'm very used to this disorder. I've dealt with it my whole life from different people I know and in my family. I haven't until I met people at Wasteland Weekend. A lot of people in the Wasteland community, a lot of people in the cosplay community are heavily into this. The difference is probably because for some reason, and I still don't know why, the incidence of it has gone way up since we were kids. It existed when we were kids, but it's just way more common now. So meaning people who are younger than us, like people who are currently kids or 20s.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. Or back then it was just completely swept under the rug and undiagnosed. Like I knew there was just a lot of bad fucking kids and they all just went on bus.
I don't mean the high functioning ones. The high functioning ones, I can understand why they slip through the system. I'm talking about the ones where you fucking know a mile away there's something wrong. You know what I mean? That's more common. It's just everything's gotten weirder out there. I mean, who knows? Maybe it's the processed foods. Who the fuck knows what's done it? But
yeah,
but
it is. You're right. I mean, it is. But anyway, with this, I was going to say is like I did not have a lot of this growing up and stuff.
Yeah.
But because of the Wasteland community and the cosplay community, I've been made aware.
But the ones who are aware of it, it's a whole different thing.
They're great.
They're great. Challenging to be around, but in the end,
they're very, very challenging to be around.
But in the end, the awareness,
and they're so open with it, and you know that they're going to be problematic with it. You know they're going to have flare-ups and stuff, and they make you aware of it right off the bat because it's communicative, right? Like, by the way, I'm so and so.
Yeah.
You know? And then you know that going right in, you're like, oh, okay, and it's so great. It's very, very refreshing to hear someone like. I wish people in the addiction community would be as
everything in life boils down to self-awareness. It really does.
It's self-awareness, and Dan, it's communication. Really, I mean, I have a big problem with this. People just lacking in communication and stuff like this, and it's just like, wow, those stories are blood boiling, and anything that involves food, especially Thanksgiving, like that's the clincher for me. To have 2 small birds like that.
But dude, this is every event. You don't understand. I've known Christina for a decade now. And like, it is every single time it's the same thing. And they don't think there's a problem. They think it's fine and it's great. There's no issue. I don't know what you're talking about. What's wrong with you? It's fine. There's plenty of food. It's so crazy. It's just like,
damn, but wouldn't it bring you an immense sense of joy to be there at an event and confront the matter? Because all I can think about.
I would love it.
So Dan, like when she's telling those stories and I came up with that funny synopsis of me and you that are there as a pretend gay couple, like I'm serious. That would bring me so much joy. Like I would absolutely.
They know who I am. They know that she has a friend who's got picked. Maybe we could say he's gay and she never mentioned it. But yeah. Yeah, that for me to call it out, like right to their face, would be
it would be
extremely
such joy.
amazing.
Like even if okay.
Now, look, they would not. This would not change.
I
their
know
behavior.
it wouldn't matter in the
wouldn't
long run,
matter,
but it would make me
it
feel
would
good.
be satisfying. It would be
Yeah.
satisfying.
It would make me feel good. And just if I did this and me and you did this and we called them out on their shit loudly and just made a whole fucking scene about the turkey or the beef sandwiches, which I would do. You know me, Dan, I love confrontation. I live for it, right?
Yeah.
So if we got to go there and do that and we were making a scene and the look on their face, and I looked over and looked at Christina and the look on her face would have been one of like, thank you, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I would get a lot of joy out of being like, dude, you got 10 people here. What the fuck? And who has a potluck for Thanksgiving? Seriously.
Yeah.
What are you? What is this? A trailer park?
What is this amateur hour?
Yeah.
Not only that, like you have like, if you're going to do that, okay, then you make it. I'm bringing the turkey. How many people are going to be there? You bring the bean salad, make it enough for 13 people. There would be lists, spreadsheets, fucking organization off the charts. We're going to show up. You show up now. Things come out of the oven at a certain time. It's fucking Thanksgiving. Oh, Dan.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Listen, that's a 2-hour podcast. Tell me what you're going to do for the graphic and the title of the front of it. Let's think about this because that's really good.
Pretty crazy, man.
What are you going to do for the graphic and the title for the front of the podcast?
I don't know. I like the tomato that broke the camel's back. I like that was a good line, but I don't know.
How about tomato sandwiches are unacceptable? Or like squash? How about squash and garbanzo bean salad has no place for Thanksgiving? Like that was pretty funny. I don't know. Not enough food for Thanksgiving, or just, look, I'll let you go.
I'll think of something, but yeah, I'll get it all wrapped up. Actually, we're still on. So anyway, I'm gonna play the outro. Let's do the.
Are original. We still on? You're not going to air this.
Man. Yeah, we're still on, man. Come on.
You're not going to air this.
I'm going to air this. What did we say?
No, please.
What did we say? Nothing.
I thought this was the show after the show.
No, it's not the show after the show. This is still a show.
Okay.
What did we just say? We just said we're going to go to the gay couple and call them out. That's it.
What did I? I don't think I said anything inappropriate.
No, you didn't. Other than when you
I'm not judging your opinion on that. All right. Let's let it roll.
Will you stop with that shit? Like inappropriate. There's no inappropriate. This is the Heeb Goy show. We let it rip on this show.
Okay,
we
Dan.
keep it real. All right. The outro.
The outro.
Heeb and Goy, Heeb and Goy. We would like to welcome you. Heeb and Goy, Heeb and Goy. One Gentile